on the Purdue Global Sports Network. From Learfield, this is Boilermaker Basketball. The 2024-25 Purdue basketball season is presented by Purdue Global. Purdue Global, Purdue's online university for working adults. University Bookstore, the official textbook provider for Purdue athletics and home to the original Purdue Pete. Purdue basketball is brought to you in part by Purdue Federal Credit Union, the official credit union for Purdue fans, and by your Central Indiana Ford dealers are a proud sponsor of Purdue basketball. Visit your local Central Indiana Ford dealer today. Purdue Boilermaker basketball is on the air. Now let's go courtside.
Courtside this morning is the Amica Mutual Pavilion in Providence, Rhode Island, the site of NCAA Tournament first and second round action. And today, it's a first round game between our Purdue Boilermakers, 22-11 on the season, a 4 seed in the Midwest region, taking on the 13 seed High Point Panthers, the representatives out of the Big South. 29-5 on the season are the Panthers. What a season they have had, and what a run it has been for them. This today will mark their first ever appearance in the NCAA Division I men's basketball tournament. Hi, everyone. Pleasant good morning to you. Rob Blackman is my name. My broadcast partner, Bobby Buckets Riddell, joins me in just a moment. This is Purdue basketball. Purdue into the NCAA tournament now for the 10th straight time. The Boilermakers a top 4 seed for the 8th straight year. But it will not be easy against a High Point team that, while they might be a 13 seed, seem to be a sexy pick as an upset winner in round 1 of NCAA tournament play. And why not? I mentioned there are 5 losses on the season at 29-5. The 5 losses by a combined 23 points, and one of those was by 10 to Missouri State. So that means the other 4 losses by a total of 13 points combined. That's how close the Panthers are to being undefeated. Purdue coming off a season in which they finished tied for 4th in the Big Ten's regular season. Purdue winning 1 game in Big Ten tournament play and then bowing out in the quarterfinals against Michigan last Friday. So here we go. The new season begins. The postseason and the NCAA. Purdue and High Point. When we come back, we'll get you set for this one. We're scheduled for a 12:40 tip-off, just a little over an hour from right now. 12:40 for the tip-off. Purdue taking on High Point here in Providence, Rhode Island. When we come back, we'll move this pregame show full speed ahead. This is Boilermaker Basketball on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
Keystone Cooperative understands that your family matters most, which is why safety is our top priority. Our commitment to serving the local community is all about being an active part of the places we call home. By choosing Keystone Seriously Local Propane, you are supporting local communities and helping us make an impact where it matters most, right here at home. Keystone Cooperative, Seriously Local Propane, and proud to back the Boilermakers.
At Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, we're good at insurance, but not just any insurance. We're good at...
No.
Did you forget the parking brake? Yes, you forgot the parking brake. Insurance. When the forecast calls for cheeseball-sized hail, insurance. Even shouldn't have parked under that tree. Insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
With the Boilermakers, every pass, shot, layup, and score is more than just part of the game. It's a testament to the teamwork, elbow grease, and can-do attitude it takes to win. In the same way, Case IH knows every successful farm is more than just a farm. It's the product of top-notch tillage, planting, harvesting, hay, and forage equipment at the hands of hardworking growers. Get a slam dunk by visiting your local Case IH dealer or go to caseih.com/Boilermakers to learn more. Boiler up!
At Farm Credit Mid-America and Rural First, we do more than lend. We lift up our rural communities that we serve, too. From our day-to-day business of providing reliable credit to farmers and rural residents, to our community investment efforts and scholarships for college students, we help Indiana's rural communities find their next level. Visit FCMA.com to learn more about how we work with partners like Purdue University. Boiler up. Farm Credit Mid-America and Rural First are equal opportunity lenders.
We Boilermakers show our pride in a number of ways. From a Purdue flag flying high on game day to a black and gold tie worn to the office. That loyalty is built on precious memories, time-honored traditions, and lifelong friendships. It's everlasting, and it stays with you wherever you go. So whether you're at Mackey Arena, your hometown grocery store, or across the country, the pride is always there. And now with the Purdue Federal Visa Signature Card, you have one more way to show your pride. Purdue Federal, the official credit card for Purdue fans everywhere. Federally insured by NCAA.
This is your moment, your time to shine, your comeback. You're ready for the next step in your career, and you want an education employers respect. So you're not just going back to school, you're coming back with Purdue Global. Backed by Purdue University, one of the nation's most respected public universities, Purdue Global is built for people who bring their life experience into the online classroom. Purdue Global, Purdue's online university for working adults. Start your comeback today at purdueglobal.edu.
Welcome to Providence, Rhode Island, NCAA Tournament first-round action. Purdue and High Point. 12:40 the tip-off. Rob Blackman with Bobby Buckets Riddell. Our on-site audio engineer is Wes Scott. We're happy you have joined us here in the Northeast. Last time Purdue traveled to this part of the country for NCAA Tournament action, it was a pretty good trip, 2019 in Hartford, Connecticut. Purdue beat Old Dominion in round one and then beat Villanova in round two. Then made it all the way to the Elite Eight in Louisville before losing to Virginia in overtime. Well, Bobby Riddell, here we go. The new season, as we like to say, begins. They also like to say everyone gets a clean slate. It's 0-0, which maybe isn't all bad for our Boilermakers. Might be bad for High Point. They won 29 games. They might wish they could just start with 29 wins. I do know this much. Purdue laboring down the stretch, to be fair, defensively. Purdue offensively seemed to be doing okay, aside from that final game against Michigan and Friday night's quarterfinal loss of the Big Ten tournament. All of this being said, 33 games in, what do we know about Purdue? Because we certainly have plenty of data from which to draw from. What do we know from Purdue that will allow them to have success today? What do we know from our team 33 games in that would say, Purdue might have a struggle on their hands this afternoon?
Certainly good questions, Rob, and you're right. High Point on the 14-game win streak, they wish they could just continue that momentum.
Yeah.
And, the clean slate certainly I think is going to work, hopefully in Purdue's favor, because you're right, it's been a little bit of a struggle, and as far as things that have worked well for Purdue this year, the offense, as you pointed out, not necessarily at our best against Michigan in our last game, but we're 7th in KenPom in offensive efficiency. We got a dynamic offense led by an All-American first-team consensus point guard in Braden Smith, and then another first-team all-conference player in Trey Kaufman-Wren. Those guys certainly are the straws that stir the drink for this offense, and we're playing against a team that is 225th in defensive efficiency in High Point, so that on paper you love. Purdue this year, when they've played other teams that struggle defensively, Purdue's been able to light them up on the scoreboard, and hopefully that works in Purdue's favor once again today. But Purdue, where some areas they've struggled, well, defensively, just 65th in KenPom from a defensive efficiency standpoint. At one point earlier this year, had climbed up all the way into the top 25 after a midseason surge there in conference play where we were forcing turnovers left and right, really causing a lot of havoc on that end of the floor. Unfortunately, as the competition has improved to close out the year, that turnover rate has not continued, and the defensive efficiency numbers have climbed all the way back up into the mid-60s. And this High Point team is a high-powered offense. They are 25th in the country in offensive efficiency, so a top 25 program. They can really score the basketball. They're really deep. They got a lot of guys who can put the ball in the basket. And then they're not going to let you off the hook when the shot goes up either. They're one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country. 35% of their shots that they miss, they grab from an offensive rebounding standpoint. So Purdue, a team that's not a great defensive rebounding team, is going to have to be at their best here today.
Some of the numbers to just elaborate what Bob's talking about. High Point, 82 points a game. That's top 20 in the country. That's 18th, as a matter of fact, at 82 points a game. High Point shoots 49.4% as a team. 7th best in the country. Very similar to our Boilermakers, who themselves shoot 49% as a team, field goal percentage. In the rebounding margin, again, something Bob was speaking to, they're plus 5.7 on the year. That's per game, 5.7 rebounds better than the opponent. That is top 25. in the country. They only lost 2 games all year in their conference. They were the Big South Conference champions. They are a team that seems to have no problem scoring the basketball. But to your point, their defensive efficiency numbers have been really poor. I asked Coach Painter this in the pregame show, and you'll hear it later on, fans. He didn't really have an answer for this, but I will ask you, Bob, for our listeners today that are paying attention closely, that follow the Big Ten closely, is there a team in the Big Ten that might resemble High Point, that you would say, yeah, if you're looking for a Big Ten comparable, I'd start with this team?
That's a good question. I would probably say Iowa, just as far as like a team that can really score the rock, but then defensively they leave a lot to be desired at times. I suppose that would probably be my best comparison. I'm not sure from a personnel standpoint they necessarily fit Iowa perfectly, but just as far as the analytics go, I feel like Iowa's a pretty good call there.
Yeah. One thing that High Point's very good at, getting the ball into the paint off of the bounce. That's a problem for Purdue. Defending the ball in the paint off the bounce.
You're right. That's something that is certainly worrisome for this Purdue team. They have really struggled defending the two-point shot since the turn into the calendar year. Since February 1st, Purdue allowing 63% from two-point range, which is just way too high. That means Purdue is, when these teams are, when the opponent is shooting in two-point range, it means they are way too often shooting dunks and layups versus kind of those pull-ups and floaters. Not getting, you really want to have the opponent take those contested twos over the top of the defender versus getting those angles. And Purdue has way too often allowed teams to get angles and get into the paint, and that's led to either finishes around the basket over our lack of rim protection. Trey Kaufman-Renn still leads this team with just 9 block shots on the year. And then, or it's, okay, now a lot of help's coming over, we're caught in rotations, and you're giving up alley-oop dunks at the rim or drop-offs, or even from, sometimes those spray-out wide-open threes in rhythm. So, got to be able to contain the dribble here today, keep High Point out of the lane. Easier said than done because this High Point team's got a lot of guys who can put the ball in the bounce, and they're always looking to kind of kill their man in those isolation situations.
The other thing High Point has, and this is not uncommon, especially in this modern day of college basketball for a mid-major, and that's a ton of transfers that have transferred down from high major programs, and no surprise, they are their better players. Kamani Hamilton, first team all-conference each of the last 2 seasons. He's a Mississippi State transfer. Bobby Pettiford, who was the MVP of the Big South Tournament, he transferred out of Kansas. Also has played at East Carolina. He's a former top 100 recruit. Keza Jiffa, transferring from UTEP. He's a guy who's been first team all-conference each of the last 2 seasons. A lot of high major guys that have transferred down. The other thing the guys that I just mentioned, their names have in common, they're juniors, they're seniors, or they're grad transfers. They're old players.
You're right. This team's got the perfect recipe for a mid-major team to be successful in today's landscape. It's be mature, it's be old, it's have a lot of veteran guys, and it's also have guys that are inherently pretty talented because, as you mentioned, some of these schools they went to out of high school, you don't just go to those schools out of high school by accident. Right. You clearly got some ability. You got some good things from a stature standpoint, athleticism standpoint, things that attract those schools, and they got that in abundance here. Pettiford, you mentioned him, the one-time Kansas and ECU player. He doesn't even start for this team. He's like their 6th, 7th guy, and he was MVP of the Big South Tournament. Clearly a game-changing type of player off the bench. Played 29 minutes in that championship game. So he's someone that Purdue's really going to have to watch out for. But he's the type of player who is not a high-volume three-point shooter. He's 8 for 19 from 3 on the season, so doesn't take a lot of them. So he's always looking to take you off the bounce. He's a jitterbug type of guard, really quick and athletic. But he'll drop dimes to his teammates as well. Has over 200 assists and is the type of player that can create for himself and others. And definitely a team that's got talent across the board, and Purdue's got to be ready to match that from the jump.
Here's the other thing that High Point has, and you don't always see this at the mid-major level, but that is a 7-footer who can play. Justin Bodo, who is not a transfer, by the way. He's a 7-foot sophomore, 255-pounder, found his way to High Point via Cameroon, the country of Cameroon. He's not a high-level offensive player, at least statistically, 5 points a game, but he does get 8 rebounds a game. He has 48 blocks on the season. In each of the last 2 years, he's been the Big South Defensive Player of the Year. He gives High Point what Purdue would love to have. That's rim protection with a 7-footer.
He really does. His impact on the game today is going to be something to really watch. If he's someone that we feel like we're talking about a lot and he's making a huge impact, that does not bode well for Purdue, because you just said it. He's a big-time rim protector, blocks a ton of shots, the best statistical offensive rebounder in the country. So on the offensive end, he makes an impact, and he's a lob threat offensively. We've seen Purdue at times this year struggle with a team like a Michigan State who's got these big centers that like to catch lobs at the rim.
Yeah.
If Purdue is allowing penetration off ball screens on some of this pick-and-roll situation, if Purdue's weak-side defenders are not drawing in to take away the roller like they have at times this year when they've had breakdowns, Bodo can go up there and absolutely finish at the rim with his size and athleticism. And so he's a potential impact guy, and hopefully Purdue is able to kind of play him off the floor by utilizing their speed and quickness, especially if he's going to be in that deep drop coverage and ball screen defense like we've seen so often from some of these big lumbering bigs. If he's in that deep drop coverage, hopefully the Braden Smith, Trey Kaufman-Wren duo can really exploit that.
A little bit more on High Point, then we'll take a break and talk specifically about our Boilermakers. And again, fans, it's a 12:40 tip-off here from Providence. If you're going to argue against High Point not winning today, you'll point to a couple of things. You'll start with their strength of schedule. Out of the Big South Conference, they have, well, quite frankly, they played no high majors the entire season. Their net number is 82. Again, they just don't have a lot of high majors on the schedule. It doesn't work out that way for them. Now, they've dominated the teams of their caliber that they've played, mid-majors and low majors, but they haven't seen a Big Ten ball club. Again, if you're trying to make arguments for why High Point can't win today or won't win today, that'd probably be a good one to start.
Certainly would think that. Hopefully it works in Purdue's favor, the fact that they just have not been tested at an extremely high level against the quality of opponent that Purdue is going to be today. And it's going to be interesting. Does Purdue's elite level offense, are they able just to kind of overwhelm this High Point defense? They already don't rank very well analytically, and this Purdue offense, we know how good they are. Can they just kind of overwhelm this High Point defense and score at will and really put this High Point team on their heels? I think that's from a Purdue perspective, is you just hope this offense is clicking on all cylinders and you're able to kind of overwhelm this High Point team. And hopefully the fact that they haven't seen guys like Trey Kaufman-Wren and Braden Smith this year work in Purdue's favor.
A couple other things might work in Purdue's favor. I say might. You never know in a tournament atmosphere. Their head coach is Alan Huss. He was an assistant at Creighton with Paul Lusk, of course, a Boilermaker assistant. Coach Lusk will tell you as he was breaking down the film on High Point, he sees a lot of Creighton in High Point. So if there's anyone going to be familiar with the Panthers and what they like to do from a schematic standpoint, it's going to be Paul Lusk. But let me throw this one in for you as well. Chase Johnston, their grad student who's originally from Florida, outstanding three-point shooter. 84% of his shots, by the way, come from the three-point line. He was a 2-year roommate of our own Isaiah Thompson when they were both playing at Florida Gulf Coast. I teased Isaiah, who, of course, is a grad assistant with Purdue currently, about having a scouting report on Chase Johnston. He said, hey, man, we were roommates for 2 years. I know everything about that guy.
Yeah, it's really fun in these NCAA tournament games to have these fun little side storylines. And you just talked about it with Coach Huss and his connection to Coach Paul Lusk, also his connection to Rayfeld Davis, the former Purdue Boilermaker, coached him at La Lemire in prep school. And then, yeah, the Isaiah Thompson-Chase Johnson connection, really fun. I also asked Isaiah a little bit about that, and I was like, surely you're telling all the guys all of his moves and, you know, what he likes to do and what he doesn't, and we were joking about that. So, yeah, you love these little fun side storylines in these big games.
All right, that's enough on the Panthers. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll break down the Purdue Boilermakers and what it would take for the fourth-seeded Boilermakers to move on in NCAA tournament play. Last year, as you know, Purdue made it all the way to the national championship game. Today, Purdue just wants to survive and advance. More in a moment. This is Boilermaker Basketball on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
You want it? We got it. University Bookstore has you covered on all Purdue athletic sports apparel. Shop online at PurdueU.com. Anything and everything you need. Or visit our main location across from the Union and our stadium store across from Mackey Arena. You want it? We got it at University Bookstore.
University Bookstore, we're more than just a bookstore.
UBS, a proud partner of Purdue Athletics.
Indiana farmers, building new markets takes time and pays back dividends with long-term demand for your crops. High oleic soybean oil drives new demand for Indiana soybeans to domestic and international markets. Plus, it's a healthier oil, more desirable to customers. Your checkoff is building this demand right here in Indiana. Purdue Athletics is proud to offer their foods prepared in heart-healthy, high oleic soybean oil this season. Learn more about this oil at incornandsoy.org/premiums. This message was funded by Indiana soybean farmers and their checkoff.
We know to contact Indiana 811 at least 2 working days before every dig. But did you also know spraying a white line around the area you plan to dig means utility flags will only go in that area? Fewer flags in the yard? Easier mowing? Everybody wins.
Everybody except my kid. I don't want to mow the yard.
Everybody except for your kid wins. Contact Indiana 811 at least 2 working days before picking up a shovel. It's the only way to dig. Learn more at 811.safedigindiana.com.
At Indiana Kitchen Premium Pork Products, just 20 miles down the road from Mackey Arena, we're not just really good bacon makers.
We're Purdue alumni.
We're student interns.
We're student parents.
We're fans.
We're season ticket holders.
We're John Purdue Club members.
We're boilermakers.
I'm Russ Sherwood, president at Indiana Kitchen, and on behalf of everyone here, we're proud to say our bacon is more than just locally made. Our Indiana Kitchen bacon is boiler made.
Visit IndianaKitchen.com, proud sponsor of Purdue Athletics.
Sounds like it's time to call Hayes & Sons. Fire, floods, mold, and other disruptive events can wreak havoc on your home or business. That's when the Hayes & Sons team goes into action. We've got your back, from assessing the damage and taking immediate steps to secure your home to working with your insurance to ease the pain, and from restoring contents to repairing and rebuilding so your home feels just like it did before it was hit by the storm. When disaster strikes, call Hayes & Sons. We do restoration right.
The best cars for the money are Hondas. Now, save big with 0% APR. The 25 Accord, Civic, Passport, and Odyssey have been named the best cars for the money by U.S. News & World Report. Save thousands with 0%, like the 24 Prologue with 0 APR. To drive the best, search a local Honda dealer today. See dealer for financing details. Financing on credit approval. Offer ends 4/30/25. View U.S. News Best Cars at cars.usnews.com.
It is March Madness NCAA Tournament action, round 1 from Providence, Rhode Island, the Amica Mutual Pavilion. Rob Blackman here with Bobby Riddell as the Purdue Boilermakers get set to battle the High Point Panthers. Purdue a 4 seed, High Point a 13 seed. All right, Bob, we jokingly, half-jokingly, said late in the broadcast Friday night in the loss to Michigan that if Purdue was going to have a clunker offensively, that was a good game to have it. Because unlike the NCAA Tournament, you have a clunker offensively, you're going home. At least the Big Ten Tournament, you get one more game. Purdue was 33% in that game as a team shooting, and we mentioned it numerous times in the broadcast. Purdue is the best shooting team in the Big Ten all season long at nearly at 50%. That game, Purdue was 33%. Trey Kaufman was 9 of 24. Let's see, Braden Smith, I think, was 5 of 18, I think. That has to be an outlier. Yes, I mean, we have 33 games of data from which to choose from, and that was the one game where Purdue clearly as a team just couldn't throw it in the ocean.
Well, no question. I mean, yeah, like you said, the 9 of 24 from Trey, the 5 of 18 from Braden, all add in. Fletcher Lawyer goes 0 of 6.
Yeah, there you go.
CJ Cox, another starter, 0 for 3. You just didn't get the production, especially from your main guys, those starters. They just had poor shooting performances. And the big three for Purdue, especially Braden, Trey, and Fletcher, if those guys all have bad games at the same time, it's just far-fetched to think Purdue's going to be able to win the basketball game when you get to this point of the season. You're playing against the high-level competition that Purdue's going to be playing against. So, as we joked about, hopefully Purdue was able to get that stinker out of their way from a shooting standpoint. It's always fascinating to see how these teams are going to translate to these different venues, right? Because you have new shooting backgrounds that you're not accustomed to shooting on. How are the different sight lines favor different guys? I was talking with some of the Purdue players yesterday after the shoot around here. It was like just kind of getting the feel for them on what they thought of the shooting background. Did they like it? Most of the players said they seem to like this arena and they like the shooting background. Some of the sight lines in here, they felt comfortable. So hopefully that is a situation for Purdue that it carries over to today, and shots are going down left and right.
It is not a big arena by any means. Seats about 11,600. A very cozy venue, all chairbacks all the way around the building. But it's certainly a nice venue, just not a big one. Purdue has actually played in this building, but not with this group of guys. It was a secret scrimmage game against Providence a handful of years ago. And so
Caleb first would have played.
Oh, he would have played. Okay, you're right. He would
Caleb.
be the one guy that would have actually played in that game, in the secret scrimmage game here in Providence. Last time Purdue played a real game here, you have to go back December of 1998 when Providence beat Purdue 87-82. More on our Boilermakers and what we saw in the Big Ten tournament, and more importantly, what we saw going down the stretch. The other thing that if Purdue wouldn't mind getting back to, wouldn't hurt my feelings, is turning the opposition over. Purdue led the league in the month of January in turnovers forced. Purdue led the league in the month of January in points allowed. Big reason for that, they were turning the opposition over 15 times a game. They were getting out in transition. They were able to get back and set their defense. Boy, it'd be nice to see Purdue to get back to that because, as you know, since the calendar turned to February, the forced turnovers per game is right now at about 9.5. That's a far cry from 15.
It certainly is. And Purdue, from a defensive standpoint, just not a legit defense from a rim protection standpoint and great individual defender standpoint that they're going to be super effective if they're not causing turnovers. And as we always talk about ad nauseum, the rebounding and the turnovers, those critical stats that can be game changers from one game to another. And it does feel like for this Purdue team, because they're not likely going to be a dominant rebounding team in any one of these particular games, it feels like they got to make sure they win that turnover stat. When you have a point guard like Braden Smith, you feel like you're going to have that edge when it comes to taking care of the basketball and being, a big-time playmaker. So hopefully Purdue values the basketball offensively, gets good shots, doesn't have those live ball turnovers that can lead to easy opportunities for the defense and High Point going the other way.
The other big question, of course, is the health of Fletcher Lawyer. We've had eyes on Fletch the last couple of days in practice. He will be wearing a left elbow pad on that left elbow, which was injured, of course, in the game against Michigan last Friday. But from what we have seen, it certainly hasn't affected his shooting or his ability to be in the starting lineup, which he will be in tonight.
You're right. That's a huge deal for Purdue, obviously. Fletcher, just one of those guys who seems to relish the big game. I feel like some of his biggest moments, he's kind of gotten that name, Big Game Fletch. Just has those big-time shots that go down in the biggest games, and Purdue needs him to be at his best in this tournament. And so it's a welcome sign to see that elbow injury he occurred in that game against Michigan isn't something that's going to keep him out for an extended period of time. He's going to be able to fight through it. I think it's probably more of a pain tolerance thing, and he seems good to go. He's shooting the ball extremely well in these shoot-arounds, and I'm excited to see him out there. Yeah, he's got the shooting sleeve now with the pad on the elbow like he talked about, so he's got that Braden Smith look to him, and him and Braden have always been connected in a lot of ways, and now they're connected even further with some of their arm sleeve swag.
Last time we had an elbow injury, it, of course, was Isaac Haas, but that was his shooting elbow.
Yes.
Which was a much different situation than with Fletch. At least it's on the non-shooting arm. And, again, from what we have seen, fans, with our own two eyes in practices and shoot-arounds, Fletch has had no problem shooting the basketball. We hope that certainly continues here once as Coach Payton likes to say, once the popcorn gets popping. We are near the top of the hour. A reminder, we're at 12:40 tip-off, fans. 12:40 the tip today for Purdue and High Point. So let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Boilermaker basketball from Learfield. When we come back, it's our Big Ten College Basketball Report presented by Toyota. Purdue is not the only Big Ten team in action today in NCAA Tournament play. We'll tell you about the others when we return. This is Boilermaker Basketball on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
Talking on the phone is difficult if you've been exposed to loud noises over time. Combat veterans, factory workers, farmers, gun and motorcycle enthusiasts can have trouble hearing on the telephone. Relay Indiana helps return clarity to your phone conversations. Relay Indiana also provides free loaned equipment to those who qualify. Get the CapTel Caption telephone from Relay Indiana. Visit relayindiana.com now.
Every game starts before the season begins. From preparation to training, countless factors help turn the tide. Boilermakers players and fans know this, and so does Case IH. We're committed to providing powerful, reliable equipment for every field challenge, from planting through harvest and beyond, to help win the game before it even starts. Check out our roster of rugged tools and equipment by visiting your local Case IH dealer or go to caseih.com/Boilermakers.
At Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, we're good at insurance. But not just any insurance. We're good at fireworks don't go in the attic insurance. Hole in window insurance. Even guy that shouldn't have a chainsaw but has a chainsaw insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
Purdue University. We're in the persistent pursuit of the next giant leap. We're developing solutions to today's toughest challenges and building a better world together. From our research labs in West Lafayette to new opportunities at Purdue University in Indianapolis. Together, we dare to go first and picture what's next in a first-of-its-kind short film, Boilers to Mars. Find out about our legacy and future in space at boilerstomars.com.
Keystone Cooperative is centered on delivering the farmer-owned cooperative of the future, starting today. There are hundreds of decisions being made to ensure the success of the family farm for the next generation, and Keystone has the resources to meet the needs of your operation. We consider it an honor to partner with CountryMart to provide premium diesel fuel to ensure your engines run clean for the duration of the work. Proudly fueling the Boilermakers, Keystone Cooperative, centered on you.
Hancock County, Indiana, located just 15 minutes from downtown Indianapolis near I-70 and I-465, is open for business. Learn why we are one of the fastest growing communities in Indiana. With access to available land, infrastructure, transportation, and a regional airport, join other national brands like Amazon, Carvana, and Walmart, and discover why we are the best kept secret in central Indiana. This message brought to you by the Hancock County Economic Development Council. Visit us at hancockedc.com or at 317-477-7241.
It's Purdue and High Point. The Boilermakers, the 4 seed. High Point, the 13 seed. NCAA Tournament action, round 1 from Providence, Rhode Island. Time for a Big Ten report brought to you by Toyota. Dear style, efficiency, and performance. Glad we are on the same team this season and every season. So let's keep huddling up with a stylish and fuel-efficient RAV4, Corolla, or Camry. Or go wild with a rugged Tundra and Tacoma ready for you. Toyota, let's go places. Rob Blackman with Bobby Riddell as we look at our Big Ten brethren who will be playing today in NCAA tournament action. Purdue and High Point obviously at 12:40. The next game that'll be on the docket would be the 1:30 Eastern tip-off out in Denver, where third-seeded Wisconsin plays 14-seed Montana. They're playing out of the East region. And then later on tonight, a couple of Big Ten teams in action in the Midwest region playing out of Lexington. 7-seeded UCLA playing 10-seed Utah State. That's a 9:25 tip. 10 o'clock tonight in Denver playing out of the South region. 5-seeded Michigan and the 12-seed UC San Diego. The other Big Ten teams that will be in action will be on tomorrow. Will be playing tomorrow, Friday. It'll start at 4:35 in Seattle out of the West region. 4-seeded Maryland, 13-seeded Grand Canyon. That's again at 4:35 tomorrow. Then the rest of the games are night games. These are Eastern times. 9:45 Eastern in Milwaukee. 6-seeded Illinois. They'll be playing Xavier. Xavier beating Texas in a first 4 game yesterday. 10 o'clock tomorrow night, Michigan State and Bryant. The Spartans a 2-seed, Bryant a 15 in Cleveland. That's out of the South region. And then 5-seeded Oregon and 12-seeded Liberty Friday night, tomorrow night, 10-10 in Seattle, playing out of the East region. Big news from the Big Ten Conference yesterday. One of the coaching vacancies in our league has been filled as Indiana hires Darren DeVries, who just spent the last season as the head coach at West Virginia. He is now the new head coach of the Hoosiers. When we come back to the pregame show, a closer look at tonight's opponent, the High Point Panthers, as Bobby Riddell will sit down with assistant coach Paul Lusk to to scout the Panthers. Scouting report brought to you, as it always is, by Purdue Global. This is Boilermaker Basketball on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
At First Farmers Bank and Trust, we know that when agriculture thrives, we all do. It's the heart and grit of our agricultural communities that keep the crops coming in and the livestock cared for day and night. That's why we build financial solutions around the needs and schedules of our ag clients. If you're looking for a financial partner that has over 135 years experience in understanding and supporting agriculture, we want to hear from you. Let's harvest success together. First Farmers Bank and Trust. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
You want it? We got it. University Bookstore has you covered on all Purdue athletic sports apparel. Shop online at PurdueU.com. Anything and everything you need. Or visit our main location across from the Union and our stadium store across from Mackey Arena. You want it? We got it at University Bookstore.
University Bookstore, we're more than just a bookstore.
UBS, a proud partner of Purdue Athletics.
Hi, it's Matt Painter, men's basketball coach at Purdue University. I'm proud to be a graduate of the College of Liberal Arts, which continues to innovate with programs like Cornerstone, Degree in 3, and Degree Plus. What I learned in my classes serves me every day. The College of Liberal Arts prepares all Purdue students to think broadly and lead boldly, values that mean a lot to me. I'm grateful for the education I received in the College of Liberal Arts. I encourage you to check out the College of Liberal Arts at Purdue to see where your degree can take you.
This is Camden Heidi from Purdue Men's Basketball. For my friends at the Halderman Companies, proud supporters of Purdue University. The Halderman team understands the importance of teamwork, execution, and tremendous effort required for us to succeed on the court and provide the same to their clients. Their team includes farm managers, appraisers, and real estate brokers with experience, knowledge, and professionalism to help you accomplish your farm goals. If it has anything to do with the business of farming, Halderman can help. Visit halderman.com today to learn more.
It's Truck Month with the Ford crew.
Sam, do you know what these trucks have in common?
They're all Ford trucks.
And
they're built Ford tough?
Also true, but specifically they're Ford F-Series trucks, the best-selling trucks in America for 48 years.
48 years? We should celebrate a month-long event.
Sam.
A truckload of value.
Sam.
Across the entire lineup of Ford trucks.
Sam.
That's called Truck Month already, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I knew it.
Based on 1977 to 2024 CY Industry reported total sales.
Boiler up. It's March, and at BW Fusion, we're ready for the madness, proudly bleeding black and gold for Purdue. We've got basketball in our hearts, but we've also got farming in our blood. We became leaders in crop nutrition by rolling up our sleeves alongside Indiana farmers, maximizing ROI, and boosting efficiency every step of the way. BW Fusion, leaders in the field, because of farmers like you. To learn more about BW Fusion, visit bw-fusion.com.
Welcome back here to Providence, Rhode Island, where today Purdue will be taking on the High Point Panthers in the first round of the NCAA Tournament. Time now for our Scouting Report segment presented by Purdue Global, Purdue's online university for working adults. Joined now by assistant coach Paul Lusk. And coach, the NCAA Tournament is here, certainly that special time of the season in college basketball. And on Selection Sunday, we saw our name revealed as the 4 seed in the Midwest region. What were your initial thoughts when you saw the bracket revealed?
Good seed for us, but Bobby, you've been through this. Like seeding, sure it matters a little, but at the end of the day, you've got to go out and win games. You got to be at your very best, because anyone that makes it to this tournament can win a game and stay alive. So we're going to have to be at our best.
Well, we saw that 4 seed for Purdue. That's the 8th straight year now we've seen our seed as a 4 seed or higher. Just how impressed are you from a coaching staff perspective and just from a program standpoint to be able to put ourselves in that spot year in, year out?
Testament to the players, testament to Coach Painter and the program he's built. So it's nice, but yet at the end of the day, it's not going to have zero impact on what you do on the floor.
All right, tonight's opponent, the High Point Panthers, Big South regular season champs for the 2nd straight year, and this year they won that conference tournament to get their first ever NCAA tournament appearance. Led by head coach Alan Huss, their back-to-back coach of the year in the Big South. You, of course, go way back with Coach Huss as far as worked with him at Creighton for 3 years. What do you expect to see out of this High Point Panthers team today?
He's done a terrific job. They're very experienced. They score a lot of points. They have multiple guys that can break you down and make a play. So they're just very good at what they do. And I think most importantly, like for us, they live in the paint off dribble penetration. So we've got to give resistance on the ball, and then when it does go up, we got to get them off the glass because they're the best rebounding team in their league.
From an offensive standpoint, extremely efficient, one of the top offensive teams in the country. They have a great bench as well. As far as, is that one of the things that helps separate them as a team?
I do. I think it really does. And in their championship conference tournament, the bench, rallied them, and they were down. So very deep on the bench and, quality guys that can come in and have a major impact.
All right, last question for you. Braden Smith, named first-team consensus All-American, obviously had a phenomenal year. In the tournament, they always say guards, are a big part of what helps you win. How important does he have to be today? He's got to be at his best, I presume, right?
Well, he's always very important for us. Great accomplishment for him. Congratulations. But it's not just him, Bob. Everybody's got to play well, but there's no doubt he's the head of the snake, and when he goes, we go.
All right, Coach, good luck.
Thank you.
Assistant Coach Paul Luss, just to back up what Coach was talking about there with Bob and how good the bench is for High Point. In that championship game where they were trailing by 15 in the second half, championship of the Big South tournament, their bench scored 50 of their 81 points. 50 of the 81 points came from the bench to help High Point to that victory and ultimately punch their ticket to come to the NCAA tournament. When we come back to the pregame show, Bobby Riddell will rejoin us. He has a look at a scoreboard update. This is Boilermaker Basketball on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
We Boilermakers show our pride in a number of ways, from a Purdue flag flying high on game day to a black and gold tie worn to the office. That loyalty is built on precious memories, time-honored traditions, and lifelong friendships. It's everlasting, and it stays with you wherever you go. So whether you're at Mackey Arena, your hometown grocery store, or across the country, the pride is always there. And now with the Purdue Federal Visa Signature Card, you have one more way to show your pride. Purdue Federal, the official credit card for Purdue fans everywhere. Federally insured by NCUA.
We know to contact Indiana 811 at least 2 working days before every dig. But did you also know spraying a white line around the area you plan to dig means utility flags will only go in that area? Fewer flags in the yard? Easier mowing? Everybody wins.
Everybody except my kid. I don't want to mow the yard.
Everybody except for your kid wins. Contact Indiana 811 at least 2 working days before picking up a shovel. It's the only way to dig. Learn more at 811.safedigindiana.com.
At Indiana Kitchen Premium Pork Products, just 20 miles down the road from Mackey Arena, we're not just really good bacon makers.
We're Purdue alumni.
We're student interns.
We're student parents.
We're fans.
We're season ticket holders.
We're John Purdue Club members.
We're Boilermakers.
I'm Russ Sherwood, president at Indiana Kitchen, and on behalf of everyone here, we're proud to say our bacon is more than just locally made. Our Indiana Kitchen bacon is boiler made.
Visit IndianaKitchen.com, proud sponsor of Purdue Athletics.
Purdue University. We're in the persistent pursuit of the next giant leap. We're developing solutions to today's toughest challenges and building a better world together. From our research labs in West Lafayette to new opportunities at Purdue University in Indianapolis. Together, we dare to go first and picture what's next in a first-of-its-kind short film, Boilers to Mars. Find out about our legacy and future in space at boilerstomars.com.
The best cars for the money are Hondas. Now, save big with 0% APR. The 25 Accord, Civic, Passport, and Odyssey have been named the best cars for the money by U.S. News & World Report. Save thousands with 0%, like the 24 Prologue with 0 APR. To drive the best, search a local Honda dealer today. See dealer for financing details. Financing on credit approval offer ends 4/30/25. View U.S. News best cars at cars.usnews.com.
With the Boilermakers, every pass, shot, layup, and score is more than just part of the game. It's a testament to the teamwork, elbow grease, and can-do attitude it takes to win. In the same way, Case IH knows every successful farm is more than just a farm. It's the product of top-notch tillage, planting, harvesting, hay, and forage equipment at the hands of hardworking growers. Get a slam dunk by visiting your local Case IH dealer or go to caseih.com/Boilermakers to learn more. Boiler up.
Welcome back here to the pregame show. Purdue be taking on the High Point Panthers in the first round of the NCAA Tournament. 12:40 tip-off Eastern Time. It's time now to take a look at some out-of-town scores, and let's take a look at some of the NCAA Tournament matchups here for today's action. One game is the first game of the tournament, getting ready to tip off here in about a minute. The 9-seeded Creighton Blue Jays taking on the 8-seed Louisville Cardinals in the South region. That game will air on CBS and about to tip at 12:15. The Boilers taking on the Panthers. That game at 12:40. Moving on at 2 o'clock on TBS, the 16-seed SIUE will take on the 1-seed Houston Cougars. That's in the Midwest region. Over in the South region at 2:50 on CBS, 16-seed Alabama State, who won their play-in game Tuesday evening, taking on the 1-seed Auburn Tigers. The matchup here in the Midwest region that's going to follow the Purdue versus High Point matchup here in Providence, Rhode Island, tipping off around 3:15 p.m. on True TV. The 12-seed McNeese taking on the 5-seed Clemson Tigers. At 4:05 on TNT, the 11-seed VCU will take on the 6-seed BYU. That is in the East region. Another game in the Midwest region at 4:35 p.m. on TBS. The 9-seed Georgia Bulldogs taking on the 8-seed the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Over at 7:35 p.m. on True TV, the 11-seed Drake will take on 6-seeded Missouri. That's in the West region. Over in the South region at 10 o'clock this evening on TBS, the 12-seed UC San Diego will take on the Big Ten Tournament champions, the 5-seed Michigan Wolverines. That's in the South region. In the East region, over at 1:30 p.m. on TNT, the 14-seed Montana taking on the 3-seed Wisconsin. At 6:50 p.m. on TNT, 15-seeded Wofford taking on the 2nd-seed Tennessee Volunteers in the Midwest region. Over in the West region at 7:10 this evening on CBS, 10-seeded Arkansas, John Calipari leading his squad against the 7-seed Kansas Jayhawks, led by Bill Self. That's a nice coaching matchup there in the West region. In the South region, 7:25 p.m. this evening on TBS, 13-seed Yale takes on 4-seed Texas A&M. 10-seed Utah State takes on 7-seed UCLA in the Midwest region. 15-seed Omaha takes on St. John's, the 2-seed in the West region. And then lastly, 14-seed UNC Wilmington will take on the 3-seed Texas Tech on True TV. When we return to the pregame show, we will have Coach Painter's pregame comments presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union. This is Boilermaker Basketball on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
Sounds like it's time to call Hayes & Sons. Fire, floods, mold, and other disruptive events can wreak havoc on your home or business. That's when the Hayes & Sons team goes into action. We've got your back, from assessing the damage and taking immediate steps to secure your home, to working with your insurance to ease the pain, and from restoring contents to repairing and rebuilding, so your home feels just like it did before it was hit by the storm. When disaster strikes, call Hayes & Sons. We do restoration right.
Boiler up. It's March, and at BW Fusion, we're ready for the madness, proudly bleeding black and gold for Purdue. We've got basketball in our hearts, but we've also got farming in our blood. We became leaders in crop nutrition by rolling up our sleeves alongside Indiana farmers, maximizing ROI and boosting efficiency every step of the way. BW Fusion, leaders in the field, because of farmers like you. To learn more about BW Fusion, visit bw-fusion.com.
Talking on the phone is difficult if you've been exposed to loud noises over time. Combat veterans, factory workers, farmers, gun and motorcycle enthusiasts can have trouble hearing on the telephone. Relay Indiana helps return clarity to your phone conversations. Relay Indiana also provides free loaned equipment to those who qualify. Get the CapTel Caption telephone from Relay Indiana. Visit RelayIndiana.com now.
At Farm Credit Mid-America and Rural First, we do more than lend. We lift up our rural communities that we serve, too. From our day-to-day business of providing reliable credit to farmers and rural residents, to our community investment efforts and scholarships for college students, we help Indiana's rural communities find their next level. Visit FCMA.com to learn more about how we work with partners like Purdue University. Boiler up. Farm Credit Mid-America and Rural First are equal opportunity lenders.
Electric Plus has the mission to be the best electrical contractor in Indiana, leading the league in new construction, modernizations, and service repair. Family-owned and operated Electric Plus serves our communities with pride. We have 24/7 emergency coverage for all businesses, with offices in Lafayette, Avon, Kokomo, and Bloomington. Check us out online today. Visit electricplus.com and boiler up.
You know you've got a comeback in you. When you take the next step, you're going to make it count. For your career, for your family, for your life. You can earn a degree you're proud of with Purdue Global. Purdue Global is backed by Purdue University, one of the nation's most respected and innovative public universities. This is your chance. This is your opportunity. This is your comeback. Purdue Global, Purdue's online university for working adults. Start your comeback today at purdueglobal.edu.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Amica Mutual Arena. NCAA Tournament action, round one. Purdue and High Point, the Panthers out of the Big South Conference. Let's talk to Purdue head coach Matt Painter, get his thoughts on this one. Coach's pregame comments are presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union. Purdue Federal Credit Union, proud to be the official credit union for Purdue fans. Discover the credit union difference at PurdueFed.com. Okay, Coach Painter, 33 games worth of data to evaluate for our ball club. 33 games in, do you feel like your club is indeed ready for now what the NCAA tournament presents after having a chance to evaluate 33 games worth of data?
Yeah, I think the schedule that we played in non-conference and obviously conference, prepares you for it. Like when you get to these games, like everybody earns their way into these games. You're dealing with a team that has won 14 straight games. They're one of the best offensive teams in the country. They live in the paint. They drive the basketball. It's something that we have not been great at in terms of containing the dribble and keeping the ball out of the paint. We've had to do different things, scheme different ways to do it. So this is a great challenge for us because something that we haven't been consistent with, they're very good at. But they also have to guard us too. And so like one of the things that is best for us from a defensive standpoint is when guys drive the ball like that, is scoring the basketball, is getting the other team on their heels. And I think that's something for us that we have to do. We have to have a high level of execution. I loved our effort the other night in getting 14 offensive rebounds. Loved our ability to take care of the ball. We had 5 turnovers. We just had our poorest shooting, game of the year. And now I just believe we have a lot of makes coming our way, but they need to go against a set defense. And if they're going against a set defense, that means we're getting quality shots, knocking them down, getting to the free throw line. And I think that combination right there, will lead to success for us.
For our fans listening today or maybe watching on television, is there a team in the Big Ten that maybe High Point might remind them of?
You know what? Not really. Not really. Just the way they play open and the way they attack off of what they do. They switch 4 ways on defense. They have a shot blocker inside. They play in a deep drop. So Braden's going to get opportunities. Like I think fans sometimes why didn't Braden get to his pull up? Well, it's because how the other team's guarding ball screens. Then the next game Braden will get 5 to 10 pull ups because that's the way they play in a deep drop. So you're going to see Braden have those gaps if we can set good angled screens. So when I say they play in a drop, their defender on ball screens will be about 10 feet below that. And what they're trying to do is the on-ball defender is trying to get underneath that. So we got to set a good angle and we got to force that defender tight. When we force him tight, he's on Braden's hip. Now Braden can get to his pull-up. Now Braden can get to his pocket pass. And then we get them in between. Now if they raise up at the end, he can hesitate and then attack and get a layup, as you'll see him do at times. So, Illinois plays it that way. And so some of the actions that you're going to be able to see, it really depends on the angle. You got to get a good angle with that. Then the ball's going to be in Braden's hand, and he's been very, very successful in his career against that type of defense.
From a Purdue standpoint today, how valuable might it be to have a Fletcher Lawyer, a Braden Smith, a Trey Kaufman, a Caleb First, a Miles Colvin, a Camden Heide, guys who I just named specifically that have been there, done that from an NCAA tournament perspective on both ends of it, right? They've been to the highest of highs and unfortunately have had the lowest of lows.
Yeah, but these games can go back and forth, and it can get, the fans can jump on your bandwagon and they can jump on the other team's bandwagon. It just kind of depends. And you got to be able to compete. You got to embrace the physicality of the game and you got to compete, but you got to stay in the game. It can go up and down on you. Like you saw the game last night with, the Xavier game. And you look, Texas is just dominating the game and they're just going with it. And you just think, hey, they're just going to keep going and run away with it. And Xavier just hung in there. And now Xavier started making shots. Xavier started getting stops. And then it's 40 minutes. It matters what you do at the end. And they made more plays at the end. And that's what you have to do sometimes. When you can dominate a game and just run away with it, beautiful. That's what everybody in the world wants. But it doesn't always work that way. But if you get down, stick to what you're doing. And you hope that experience that we have of being in these types of games will really help us.
Coach Painter, thank you. Good luck here this afternoon.
All right, thank you.
Coach Painter's pregame comments presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union. Purdue Federal Credit Union, proud to be the official credit union for Purdue fans. Discover the credit union difference at PurdueFed.com. When we come back to Providence, Rhode Island, I'll visit once again with my broadcast partner, Bobby Riddell. He'll have the keys to the game on the other side of this commercial timeout. Today it's 4-seed Purdue, 13-seed High Point. This is Boilermaker basketball on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
It's Truck Month with the Ford crew.
Sam, do you know what these trucks have in common?
They're all Ford trucks.
And
they're built Ford tough.
Also true, but specifically they're Ford F-Series trucks, the best-selling trucks in America for 48 years.
48 years? We should celebrate a month-long event.
Sam.
A truckload of value.
Sam.
Across the entire lineup of Ford trucks.
Sam.
That's called Truck Month already, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I knew it.
Based on 1977 to 2024 CY Industry reported total sales.
At Indiana Kitchen Premium Pork Products, just 20 miles down the road from Mackey Arena, we're not just really good bacon makers.
We're Purdue alumni.
We're student interns.
We're student parents.
We're fans.
We're season ticket holders.
We're John Purdue Club members.
We're boilermakers.
I'm Russ Sherwood, president at Indiana Kitchen, and on behalf of everyone here, we're proud to say our bacon is more than just locally made. Our Indiana Kitchen bacon is boiler made.
Visit IndianaKitchen.com, proud sponsor of Purdue Athletics.
Boiler up. It's March, and at BW Fusion, we're ready for the madness, proudly bleeding black and gold for Purdue. We've got basketball in our hearts, but we've also got farming in our blood. We became leaders in crop nutrition by rolling up our sleeves alongside Indiana farmers, maximizing ROI and boosting efficiency every step of the way. BW Fusion, leaders in the field, because of farmers like you. To learn more about BW Fusion, visit bw-fusion.com.
We Boilermakers show our pride in a number of ways, from a Purdue flag flying high on game day to a black and gold tie worn to the office. That loyalty is built on precious memories, time-honored traditions, and lifelong friendships. It's everlasting, and it stays with you wherever you go. So whether you're at Mackey Arena, your hometown grocery store, or across the country, the pride is always there. And now with the Purdue Federal Visa Signature Card, you have one more way to show your pride. Purdue Federal, the official credit card for Purdue fans everywhere. Federally insured by NCUA.
On the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield, Boilermaker Basketball is brought to you by Indiana Kitchen Premium Pork Products. Get to know us at IndianaKitchen.com. Also brought to you by Coors Light. Choose chill. Proud sponsor of the Purdue Boilermakers. The tip is moments away. This is Boilermaker Basketball.
NCAA Tournament action round 1, and we greet you from the Amica Mutual Pavilion, downtown Providence, Rhode Island. High Point and Purdue, the game which starts things off here this afternoon, the first of 4 games to be played inside of this building. I'm Rob Blackman. The next voice you hear is that of Bobby Buckets Riddell. It's time for the keys to the game. What does it take for Purdue to still be here in Providence on Saturday for a second-round matchup? I don't know. Let's ask Robert Riddell.
All right, Rob. Well, first off, I love the fact that we're getting right after it this game. We don't have to wait around. The first game being played here at this site, 12:40 tip, is going to be fun. Key number 1, the big 3, they got to show up and they got to show out offensively. No surprise there. in the game against Michigan. Those guys in the conference tournament, when we lost, really struggled from the field, combining for just 30% field goal percentage. Braden Smith, will start with him. Guards win in March, and he has to play like the first-team All-American that he is. Got to run the show, be aggressive. He had one of his worst shooting games of the season last time out, and I don't expect Braden Smith to have 2 poor showings in a row, so that bodes well for the Boilers here today. Trey Kaufman-Wren, he's got to dominate in the paint and thrive in that 2-man game with Braden Smith. Score or facilitate from that high post area on those short roll passes in the pick and roll game, or if he gets those one-on-one opportunities on the block or post touches on the block. If it's one-on-one, score the basketball. If you get a double team, facilitate, kick it out to open shooters, and those other guys got to be ready to look to shoot. Third guy, Fletcher Lawyer, had that elbow injury in the conference tournament against Michigan. There was a lot of questions what his situation would be coming into this game. Well, he looks ready to go. He's got an arm sleeve on the left elbow protecting the elbow injury, but his shot looks just fine. Thankfully, he's a right-handed player, and the elbow injury was to his left elbow. Purdue was 13-0 when Fletcher Lawyer makes 3+3s from downtown. Didn't make a single field goal in that loss against Michigan, 0 for 6 from the field. He loves playing in the big games. Hopefully he's locked in shooting the basketball here today. Key number 2, how does this high point bench impact this game? We heard Coach Paul Lusk earlier in the pregame show talking about this bench being impactful for High Point. Well, they're 27th in the country in bench points. Bobby Pettiford, the senior guard, the former Kansas player, the transfer, also played at ECU. He was named Big South Conference Tourney MVP. Not a guy who's a great outside shooter, but can really put pressure on the defense with his ball handling ability and his ability to get into the teeth of the defense. He was phenomenal in their conference tournament. Trey Benham, he's a senior transfer from Lipscomb. He had 8 points and 9 rebounds and 2 block shots in the conference title game. Terry Anderson, a Lamar transfer, comes off the bench, had 8 points and 5 rebounds in the title game. Abdoulaye Thiam, the Minnesota transfer, played 1 year at Minnesota as a freshman before transferring to High Point. He's a senior as well. He had 12 points and 2 rebounds in that title game. So they have a lot of guys just recently in their conference championship game that came off the bench and were extremely impactful. Does Purdue's bench have anyone who comes off and gives big minutes to help out? Third and final key, the Purdue defensive effort has to be great. You're playing a team led by Coach Huss that is a terrific offensive team. He brought a lot of concepts, I'm sure, from his time at Creighton. We know how good of an offensive team Creighton is. They are a top offensive team in the country, this High Point team. Top 20 in scoring, top 10 in field goal percentage. Purdue's 2-point field goal defense has been an issue. It's been pretty brutal since February 1st, allowing 63% shooting on 2-point field goals from that time. And High Point, unfortunately for Purdue, was one of the better shooting teams from 2-point range. They really live at the rim. They penetrate the basketball. Purdue's got to be able to keep that ball out of the paint. Lastly, from a defensive standpoint for Purdue, you just got to find a way to create some turnovers. When we were at our best, we were creating turnovers and getting out in transition. Let's see if we can do that here this afternoon.
It's Purdue, it's High Point, it's NCAA Tournament action. When we come back, the starting lineups presented by Hayes & Sons and the opening tip-off from Providence, Rhode Island. This is Boilermaker Basketball on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
Every game starts before the season begins. From preparation to training, countless factors help turn the tide. Boilermakers players and fans know this, and so does Case IH. We're committed to providing powerful, reliable equipment for every field challenge, from planting through harvest and beyond, to help win the game before it even starts. Check out our roster of rugged tools and equipment by visiting your local Case IH dealer or go to caseih.com/Boilermakers.
This is your moment, your time to shine, your comeback. You're ready for the next step in your career, and you want an education employers respect. So you're not just going back to school, you're coming back with Purdue Global. Backed by Purdue University, one of the nation's most respected public universities, Purdue Global is built for people who bring their life experience into the online classroom. Purdue Global, Purdue's online university for working adults. Start your comeback today at purdueglobal.edu.
This is Camden Heidi from Purdue Men's Basketball for my friends at the Halderman Companies, proud supporters of Purdue University. The Halderman team understands the importance of teamwork, execution, and tremendous effort required for us to succeed on the court and provide the same to their clients. Their team includes farm managers, appraisers, and real estate brokers with experience, knowledge, and professionalism to help you accomplish your farm goals. If it has anything to do with the business of farming, Halderman can help. Visit halderman.com today to learn more.
We Boilermakers show our pride in a number of ways, from a Purdue flag flying high on game day to a black and gold tie worn to the office. That loyalty is built on precious memories, time-honored traditions, and lifelong friendships. It's everlasting, and it stays with you wherever you go. So whether you're at Mackey Arena, your hometown grocery store, or across the country, the pride is always there. And now with the Purdue Federal Visa Signature Card, you have one more way to show your pride. Purdue Federal, the official credit card for Purdue fans everywhere. Federally insured by NCAA.
On the Purdue Global Sports Network, from Learfield, Boilermaker Basketball is brought to you by your Central Indiana Honda dealers are proud to be longtime fans and supporters of Purdue Athletics. Also brought to you by University Bookstore, the official textbook provider for Purdue Athletics and home to the original Purdue Pete. It's time to dance. Live from Providence, Rhode Island, it's the NCAA Tournament. The Boilermakers, the Panthers. The tip is moments away. Purdue Boilermaker basketball is on the air.
It is indeed time to dance. Let's get to today's starting lineups. Presented by Hayes & Sons, helping Boilermakers restore their property damaged by fire, water, mold, or storms for over 42 years. At Hayes & Sons, we do restoration right. The High Point Panthers, the champions of the Big South Conference, a 13 seed with a 29-5 overall record, making their school's first ever appearance in the NCAA Tournament. This is how they will line up. In the backcourt, Keza Jiffa, a 6'2 senior who's from Paris, France, a transfer from Daytona State and UTEP. He was first team all-conference both this season and last. Also in the backcourt, Chase Johnston, 6'3", 180-pound grad student, originally from Boca Raton, Florida. He's played at Florida Gulf Coast, Stetson, and Purdue Fort Wayne. He's averaging 7 points a game. 84% of his shots come from beyond the three-point line. The forwards are DeMarion Williams, a 6'3 grad student, originally from Phoenix, a transfer from Texas Tech. He was second team all-conference this season. And Kamani Hamilton, a 6'8", 225-pound junior. He's originally from Jackson, Mississippi, transferred in from Mississippi State. He was first team all-conference this season and last. And the big man in the middle is the 7-footer, Jocelyn Bodo, the sophomore, originally from Cameroon, the defensive player of the year in the Big South, both this season and last. Alan Huss, the head coach of the High Point Panthers, in his second season, he spent 3 years as an assistant at Creighton. He's been named the coach of the year in the Big South each of the last 2 years. Coach Huss also coaching at La Lemire and Culver Military Academy in northern Indiana. Here's how the Boilermakers, the 4 seed, who are 22-11, will go. At the point guard, Braden Smith, 6', 170-pound junior, just this week named a consensus All-American. He's averaging 16 points a game. Also in the backcourt, Fletcher Lawyer, the 6'5 junior, who led the Big Ten in three-point shooting this year at 47%. C.J. Cox, a local kid from Lexington, Massachusetts, just an hour away from where we play here this afternoon, the 6'3 freshman. The forward is Caleb First, a 6'10 senior from Fort Wayne, who is a former Indiana Mr. Basketball. And at center, Trey Kaufman-Wren, 6'9", 230-pound redshirt junior, who's now averaging 20 points a game, named first team All-Big Ten. The head coach of the Boilermakers, Matt Painter, in his 20th season as the head coach of the Boilers. In those 20 seasons, he's now taken Purdue to the NCAA Tournament 17 times. Our 3-man officiating crew for this one: Lamar Simpson, Tyler Kumpf, and Andy O'Brien. High Point is the designated traveling team, the visiting team, so they wear the dark unis. That's a purple uniform, purple jersey, purple shorts. It reads High Point in white across the chest and white numbers front and back with white trim. Purdue designated home team, so they wear white jerseys, white shorts. It reads Purdue in black capital lettering across the chest with black and old gold piping and trim, black numerals front and back. Amica Mutual Pavilion. It seats just over 11,600. And from what I can see, pretty much all the seats are filled already. Game 2 today of this session, Clemson and McNeese State. And it looks like the fans of those two universities have already shown up here to watch the first game, which might be bad news for Purdue because you know those schools will be rooting for High Point to pull the upset.
That is a good point, Rob. And it looks like the High Point student section is here in full force. They flew up here and are going to provide certainly a lift for this High Point team. This is going to be, I don't know if I want to go full road crowd for Purdue, but like you said, the Clemson and McNeese fans are going to be rooting against Purdue. The local Providence people are going to, of course, root for the upset. That's kind of a common thing to do, and so this is going to be definitely a little bit of a road environment for this Purdue team that they're going to have to handle here today.
6'8" Hamilton jumps center against the 6'10" Caleb First of Purdue. As the ball will be tossed high into the air. Hold on. We had an okey doke. The official didn't toss the ball, but both players jumped up anyway. We'll try again. And the tip is taken in the backcourt to our right by High Point. And we are now officially underway. Amica Mutual Pavilion, NCAA Tournament action, round 1. High Point and Purdue, the 13 seed on the 14 seed. Hamilton dribbling top of the key, guarded by Kaufman-Wren. Drives him to the right elbow. Stops, throws it high right wing for a catch here from Williams. Demarion Williams, skip pass to the far left corner. Jizza, a catch and shoot three. Good. That is Keza Jizza, 31% three-point shooter. Jiffa, the three-point shot. Keza Jiffa makes it 3-0 High Point right out of the gate. Purdue attacking the basket to our right. The ball knocked away from Braden Smith, but he gets it back on the right wing. Will shoot a three, and he will hit a bullseye. A bullseye for Braden Smith. We're tied at 3. The defender knocked it away from Braden. Braden was the only one that chased after it. The defender, for some reason, gave up. Braden caught it on the right arc and says, well, I guess I'll shoot it from 3. I'm wide open. We're tied at 3.
What a big play there for Smith to get that first one to go.
Williams will drive and miss a layup on the right side of the bucket. Grabbed by Braden Smith of the Boilermakers, racing left to right. Driving, coming down the left block, and it was blocked. Trey Kaufman-Wren, an offensive rebound. He missed it. Loose ball on the floor, finally pulled out of there by the High Point Panthers. Purdue had a couple of looks at the bucket, but couldn't get either one to go. Jiffa to Johnston on the run. 3 missed in transition, but a push-off and a foul against High Point. Kamani Hamilton pushed Trey Kaufman-Wren in the back, trying to get offensive rebounding position, and Hamilton draws the first foul of the ball game.
Would be really curious to see if Braden's layup got up on the backboard before it was blocked. Oh, it did. I just saw the replay over here on the TV side. It clearly hit the backboard before it was blocked, so Purdue catches a tough break there.
Would have been goaltending. Instead, we play on, tied at 3. We played 90 seconds. Johnston guards Braden Smith. He's on the March Madness logo, working left to right. Braden left elbow, step back, 16-footer, good. He scores the first 5 of the ball game. Braden Smith, just named All-American by a couple of different publications earlier this week. He's a consensus first-team All-American, and Purdue is leading 5-3.
Well, it's just so massive. He's getting off to a good start here. Braden Smith going to have a lot of shooting opportunities against this drop coverage.
Jiffa drives left block, kicks it up high side, caught by Hamilton. He drives in, misses a right-handed layup, but rebounded and put back into the bucket by Bodo. And now a stoppage of play has C.J. Cox had fallen to the floor for Purdue, and High Point's Kamani Hamilton had fallen to the floor under the basket as well. That's why the officials stopped the game, to make sure both players could get up, and then neither was injured. They are not. But there's an offensive rebound put back early for Jocelyn Bodo. We're tied at 5.
Well, containing the dribble. Once again, a key. C.J. Cox allows Hamilton to blow by him. That's the foreman of this High Point team. Got to contain the dribble.
Braden Smith will shoot a 3 on the right wing. He'll miss, but it doesn't matter. We had a foul. As trying to blow up the screen was Demarion Williams of High Point. Fletcher Lawyer was setting the screen at the top of the key, and Williams pushed his way through. That's a foul on High Point. Purdue keeps the ball on the sideline. In an early sub for High Point, they bring in Terry Anderson, the 6'6 senior transfer from Lamar. He last year was second team all-conference. This year, he averages 5 points a game playing off the bench. Braden Smith to the right elbow, leaning in on Jiffa now, changing pace. Tried to give it top of the key, and it was stolen. Stolen away by Jiffa of High Point. They race it to the other end, left to right. Kick in a corner, Johnston fakes the three, now leaves it up high for Jiffa. Good. He has, I beg your pardon, that's Williams. That was DeMarion Williams from the top of the key, knocking in the three-point shot. An early lead for High Point of 8-5. The Purdue turnover, points for High Point.
Yeah, the live ball turnover just kills Purdue there. It's deflected. Caleb First can't run it down, and then Purdue caught in rotations. Big shot from Williams early.
Here's Fletcher Lawyer at the free throw line, stopping, bouncing it left block, caught by Caleb First. Now to Braden. He'll shoot a three. It's in and out, no good, but tipped in off of the weak side. Caleb First came flying in. He was not blocked off of the glass. Tips it into the basket. Purdue trails 8-7.
Those are the type of winning plays you need out of Caleb First. Crashing the offensive glass, gets that stick back with two guys out there trying to contest Braden Smith's three.
1 point lead for High Point here. 16:30 to go, first half. This is Jiffa dribbling to the free throw line, extended, stopping, driving, and fouled as he tried a right-handed layup from the right block. This one goes against Purdue, and it goes against Trey Kaufman-Wren. First foul on Purdue's leading scorer.
Well, that's unfortunate. C.J. Cox, I felt like, kind of tripped Jiffa from behind, and then Jiffa started stumbling, and then he kind of stumbled into Trey's foot, and then they end up getting Trey for the one with the foul, even though I almost kind of feel like Cox was the one that originated all the stumbling and bumbling.
High Point's going to inbound baseline left, although they are arguing it should have been a shooting foul. The officials say nope, take it out of bounds baseline left, and that's what High Point does.
That is surprising.
This is Williams in the right corner, now gives it up high side to Jiffa. Jiffa dribbling between the circles. He wants a clear out, guarded by Caleb First. Shot clock at 9, now 8. Backs out, now drives on Caleb. Shot clock at 4. Works his way to the block. Kicks it into the corner for Anderson. They won't get a shot up. That's going to be a shot clock violation. Caleb First stayed in a defensive stance and would not allow Williams to drive him off of the arc. That's what set the whole play up defensively for Purdue.
Gotta love that. Caleb First and Trey Kaufman-Wren, the two bigs for Purdue, taking turns there, late clock, sliding their feet, keeping their men in front, and forcing that shot clock violation.
Trey Kaufman-Wren catches the ball high left elbow, faces up on Anderson, drives him, shoots it, missed it, and tried to tip at it, couldn't get it to go, rebounded out of there by Jiffa of High Point. Johnston, a deep three on the right wing. He missed it, and it comes off the left side of the rim, grabbed by Purdue's Fletcher Lawyer. 15:43 to go in the first half. Lawyer fakes a three, dribbles in all the way to the rim. His floater no good. Rebounded Trey Kaufman-Wren. He shot fakes his way to the rim and scores with a right-handed hook shot. First scoring of the game, Trey Kaufman-Wren. Another offensive rebound for Purdue. They had 14 offensive rebounds last Friday against Michigan, and Purdue leads 9-8. Williams looks at a deep three, top of the key, now dribbles to the high right elbow, gives it to the far right wing. Terry Anderson wants to drive, stops at 6 feet away and traveled. He got into the paint and then pulled the pivot foot. That's a turnover on High Point, and we have our first time out of the game. Purdue 9, High Point 8, 15:14 to go. We're in the first half on the Central Indiana Honda Dealers scoreboard. This is Boilermaker basketball on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
It's Truck Month with the Ford crew.
Sam, do you know what these trucks have in common?
They're all Ford trucks.
And
they're built Ford tough?
Also true, but specifically they're Ford F-Series trucks, the best-selling trucks in America for 48 years.
48 years? We should celebrate a month-long event.
Sam.
A truckload of value.
Sam.
Across the entire lineup of Ford trucks.
Sam.
That's called Truck Month already, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I knew it.
Based on 1977 to 2024 CY Industry reported total sales.
Electric Plus has the mission to be the best electrical contractor in Indiana, leading the league in new construction, modernizations, and service repair. Family-owned and operated Electric Plus serves our communities with pride. We have 24/7 emergency coverage for all businesses, with offices in Lafayette, Avon, Kokomo, and Bloomington. Check us out online today. Visit electricplus.com and boiler up.
At Indiana Kitchen Premium Pork Products, just 20 miles down the road from Mackey Arena, we're not just really good bacon makers.
We're Purdue alumni.
We're student interns.
We're student parents.
We're fans.
We're season ticket holders.
We're John Purdue Club members.
We're boilermakers.
I'm Russ Sherwood, president at Indiana Kitchen, and on behalf of everyone here, we're proud to say our bacon is more than just locally made. Our Indiana Kitchen bacon is boiler made.
Visit IndianaKitchen.com, proud sponsor of Purdue Athletics.
We know to contact Indiana 811 at least 2 working days before every dig. But did you also know spraying a white line around the area you plan to dig means utility flags will only go in that area? Fewer flags in the yard? Easier mowing? Everybody wins.
Everybody except my kid. I don't want to mow the yard.
Everybody except for your kid wins. Contact Indiana 811 at least 2 working days before picking up a shovel. It's the only way to dig. Learn more at 811.safedigindiana.com.
This is Miles Colvin, and this is Purdue basketball.
Purdue 9, High Point 8. First stoppage of play here in the first half. Rob Blackman, Bobby Riddell. The Boilermakers with 5 early points from the All-American first-teamer Braden Smith. This broadcast of the NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship is authorized under broadcast rights granted by the NCAA through Westwood One. It is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the NCAA and Westwood One is strictly prohibited.
You certainly like early in this game Purdue being very active on the glass, out rebounding High Point 6-3, and 3 of those coming on the offensive end. 4 second chance points early for Purdue. Very active on the glass.
Purdue has subbed in Camden Heide, the 6'7 redshirt sophomore from Wayzata, Minnesota. And now here's full court pressure. And Purdue didn't get the ball inbounds in time. They faced Fletcher. Lawyer actually stepped over the end line inbounding.
No, Fletch, they had to stay. It was a spot situation.
He was
Fletcher
moving,
was moving. He was sliding along the baseline. I actually saw the official tell Fletch it's a spot. Fletch must not have heard him or just forgot.
Gotcha. So, turnover for Purdue, their second. Pettiford, Bobby Pettiford is subbed in, the transfer from East Carolina who started his career at Kansas. Here's a deep 3 in the right corner. Good. Terry Anderson, who's a 33% three-point shooter. So that turnover leads to a 3-point shot for High Point. And the Panthers lead Purdue 11-9. Miles Colvin into the game for Purdue. The 6'5 sophomore who was born right here in Providence when his father was playing for the New England Patriots. That would be Roosevelt Colvin, obviously. Braden Smith fouled as he shoots from the right baseline. He shot faked Terry Anderson into the air, and then Anderson fell right into Braden Smith. And to the foul line goes Braden Smith, who's an 83% foul shooter.
Well, Braden Smith, so good using those up fakes to get the defenders off balance. That time, jumps into the defender to get that contact, and he's going to get himself 2 free throws here.
Braden Smith, earlier this week, named All-American by the Associated Press, first-team All-American. Last week, he was named Sporting News first-team All-American. Will Berg's going to sub in for Purdue at the next dead ball if we can get a made free throw here from Braden Smith. As he shoots free throw line right and makes it. Braden Smith already has 7 early points for Purdue. Purdue tied at 11 with High Point. And Will Berg, the 7'2 redshirt sophomore from Stockholm, Sweden, subbing in for Trey Kaufman-Wren. Again, we're all square at 11 points apiece.
Well, can Will Berg give Purdue some rebounding and rim protection here when he gets in this substitution off the bench would be huge.
Pettiford dribbling to the top of the key off a screen from Bodo. Swings it left side, Anderson. Anderson dribbling in from the left wing. Now we'll give a chest pass to Jiffa. This is Jiffa swinging from the far right wing to Anderson. Coming in from the right wing, stopping on the arc. Loses the ball for a moment. Loose on the floor. Anderson fights for it. Now we're going to have a held ball, or what will we have? With 1.9 on the shot clock, it's going to be Purdue ball in the alternating possession. But I was about to say, if you're Purdue, you'd have been better off just to let him lay on the floor with the ball, because there's no way he's going to shoot the ball with 1.9, and you will just take the shot clock violation. Either way, Purdue ends up with the ball.
You're right. You certainly like having the ball here and getting that stop. All stops are critical, but with the changing possession, the way it works, with only 1.9 seconds of the shot clock, Yeah, it would have been nice just to let him just kind of sit there and get a little shot clock
he's laying
violation.
on the ground.
Yeah, he's not in a position to get a reasonable shot up.
Yeah, holding the ball at his forehead. There's nothing. He's not going to be able to shoot from there. But regardless, Purdue ends up with a possession here. We're tied at 11. Fletcher Lawyer, right elbow, jumper, missed badly off the back of the rim. Rebounded Trey Banham, who's new into the game, a 6'4 senior, a transfer from Lipscomb, playing now for the purple-clad Panthers. Here's Pettiford off a screen from Anderson on the left wing. Swinging to the high right side, caught by another new man in the game, Simon Hildebrand, a junior from Winnipeg, Canada. Now to Benham, to Pettiford, coming down the left side of the paint, guarded by Heidi. 5 on the shot clock for Pettiford. Way out high for a deep three for Jiffa. Off the back of the iron, no good. Rebounded Trey Kaufman-Wren. Pretty good half-court defense there for the Boilermakers. Purdue left to right on the run. We're tied at 11. 13-20 to go in the opening half here in Providence. Trey Kaufman-Wren, pocket pass, attacks, shoots, misses, got his own rebound. He will not miss a second time. 4 points for Trey Kaufman-Wren. Again, another offensive rebound for the Boilermakers. It's been a key statistic early for Purdue. Purdue leads 13-11.
Well, this small ball lineup with Heidi in the game gives Purdue more spacing, and Braden and Trey took advantage of that there in the middle of the floor.
Pettiford at 15 feet, rises, shoots a floater. It is short. Rebounded by Purdue's Camden Heidi. Quickly hands to Braden Smith. Braden in that white uniform wearing number 3. Dribbling to the top of the key. Hesitating, stopping, giving to Trey Kaufman-Wren. He'll attack. He'll lean in on Hildebrand. He will miss it. Tipped by Heidi, but a foul on Heidi. Camden Heidi tried to come in and tip it toward the basket, but in doing so went over the back of one of the high point players. Into the game for Purdue comes Jakari Harris, the 6'3 freshman from Atlanta, and Will Berg will sub back in for Trey Kaufman-Wren. 12:42 to go first half. Purdue leading 13-11.
Trey going to be really frustrated with himself on that opportunity. He's so good, usually using that window on the right side. He had an angle, just left it a little bit short. Purdue still holds this 2-point lead.
Pettiford over the timeline, right to left, guarded by Jakari Harris. New man into the game now, Abdoulaye Thiam, the Minnesota transfer, playing for High Point. They've gone deep to their bench early, has Allen Huss. Pettiford, perimeter left on a crossover drill, stops at the free throw line. Kicking for a deep three, Banham, good. He got the friendly bounce over the front of the rim. Trey Banham, a 37% three-point shooter, gives High Point a lead of 14-13.
Oh, a friendly roll is right. What a huge shot for Banham. That was a deep three on the kick out. That ball just dropped in softly.
Will Berg a catch at the rim. Spins. He scores. What a pass from Braden Smith. What a finish by Will Berg. Purdue leads 15-14.
Oh, the patience from Will Berg down low. That was big time. Got the defender off his feet and then finished easily over the front of the rim.
Will only averages 2 points a game. Benham another deep three. This one missed badly. Off the back of the rim. Rebound of Purdue's Braden Smith. Purdue on the run. Colvin a three in transition on the right wing. It is long. Rebounded out of there by whom? Jakari Harris of the Boilermakers. He attacks the bucket. Gives to Colvin for another three. This one is long as well. He got his own rebound in Miles. He'll drive. He'll shoot. He'll miss this one as well. Jakari Harris a rebound. He'll miss as well. Oh, Purdue with all kinds of wide open looks, but couldn't get either one of them to go. I mean, any of them to go. Deep three on the way. Banham in and out, no good. Out of bounds. Baseline left. They say last touch by the High Point Panthers. Both teams are getting open looks. Neither team is cashing in. Purdue 15, High Point 14. Timeout on the floor. 11:10 to go in the first half. On the Central Indiana Honda Dealer scoreboard, this is Boilermaker basketball on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
This is Camden Heidi from Purdue Men's Basketball for my friends at the Halderman Companies, proud supporters of Purdue University. The Halderman team understands the importance of teamwork, execution, and tremendous effort required for us to succeed on the court and provide the same to their clients. Their team includes farm managers, appraisers, and real estate brokers with experience, knowledge, and professionalism to help you accomplish your farm goals. If it has anything to do with the business of farming, Halderman can help. Visit halderman.com today to learn more.
Indiana farmers, building new markets takes time and pays back dividends with long-term demand for your crops. High oleic soybean oil drives new demand for Indiana soybeans to domestic and international markets. Plus, it's a healthier oil, more desirable to customers. Your checkoff is building this demand right here in Indiana. Purdue Athletics is proud to offer their foods prepared in heart-healthy, high oleic soybean oil this season. Learn more about this oil at incornandsoy.org/premiums. This message was funded by Indiana soybean farmers and their checkoff.
Boiler up. It's March, and at BW Fusion, we're ready for the madness, proudly bleeding black and gold for Purdue. We've got basketball in our hearts, but we've also got farming in our blood. We became leaders in crop nutrition by rolling up our sleeves alongside Indiana farmers, maximizing ROI and boosting efficiency every step of the way. BW Fusion, leaders in the field, because of farmers like you. To learn more about BW Fusion, visit bw-fusion.com.
At Indiana Kitchen Premium Pork Products, just 20 miles down the road from Mackey Arena, we're not just really good bacon makers.
We're Purdue alumni.
We're student interns. We're student parents. We're fans.
We're season ticket holders.
We're John Purdue Club members.
We're boilermakers.
I'm Russ Sherwood, president at Indiana Kitchen, and on behalf of everyone here, we're proud to say our bacon is more than just locally made. Our Indiana Kitchen bacon is boiler made.
Visit indianakitchen.com, proud sponsor of Purdue Athletics.
Purdue 15, High Point 14. 11-10 remains in the first half. Purdue men's basketball postseason sponsored by BW Fusion. Say hello to the only end-to-end manufacturer of crop nutrition and biological products, delivering data-backed solutions that put more money in farmers' pockets. Ready to grow stronger, healthier crops and maximize your ROI. Learn more at bw-fusion.com. BW Fusion, proud presenting sponsor of Purdue men's basketball postseason. As we pause 10 seconds for station identification, this is Boilermaker basketball from Learfield. High Point shooting only 38% from the floor. Purdue only 33%. Both teams have had good looks. Boilermakers the ball as we resume action. Left to right in the white uniforms. And here's High Point in zone defense for the first time today. We thought we'd see some zone from the Panthers. Here's a three from Heidi in the left corner. It's a triple time. That's how you take care of the zone. Camden Heidi with a three. Purdue leads 18-14.
Oh, you love to see that. Cam's been shooting the ball extremely well here as of late from three. 8 of his last 10, and that time, big-time shot in the corner.
Pettiford in his purple uniform at the right elbow. Holds the ball above his head. Feeds Hamilton left wing into the left corner. Catch and shoot three for three, and he was fouled. I say Theum for a three. Instead, I said Threum, but it was Theum shooting a three and fouled on the shot by Jakari Harris of the Boilermakers. So you are going to give Abdoulaye Theum, who's an 81% foul shooter, 3 free throws here for the Panthers. First foul of the game on Jakari Harris.
A costly mistake there from Jakari. He was a little bit behind the play, but Theum, not someone who's just this extremely dangerous three-point shooter. I think he just got to close out short there, live with that three as Theum makes the first free throw. Theum on the season, 33% from three. So that's a really tough situation there, a tough foul to pick up there by Jakari. But Purdue from two-point range defensively, they've been really good so far. Just 1 for 5 as Theum makes the second free throw. Is 1 for 5 is High Point from two-point range, and that was the big problem. But unfortunately, High Point from three has been much better early on, 4 of 9.
As a team, they're 36% from three for the season. Theum 2 for 2. Now he tries to make it 3 for 3, and he does. Theum played his freshman year at Minnesota. Now he's a junior playing at High Point. And it's 18-17, Purdue the lead. Here's the full court pressure. Camden Heidi with the ball taken away from him. Purdue turnover against the full court press. So High Point will get a three from Pettiford straight away. No good. Weak side rebound taken out of there by a hustling Trey Benham of High Point. Offensive reload here. They'll lob, and Bodo missed the dunk. They lob for Bodo at the rim. He caught it but missed the dunk, and Camden Heidi rebounds for Purdue.
Whew, that was a scramble, that possession. Purdue really got fortunate there after the steal by Camden Heidi. Some good looks there for High Point. They don't come through.
C.J. Cox from just down the road in Lexington, Massachusetts back in the game. Here's a kicked ball as Braden Smith was trying to throw a bounce pass at the free throw line to Trey Kaufman-Wren. One of the purple-clad Panthers got their foot on it, kicked it. Purdue keeps the ball in the front court, far sideline. Purdue 18, High Point 17, 9:57 to go in the first half. Purdue playing in its 10th straight NCAA tournament.
Purdue fortunate there. I felt like that was a little bit of a tight window for Braden to try to sneak that bounce pass through. Luckily it was kicked.
Here's Braden off a screen from Trey Kaufman-Wren, top of the key. Snaking his way to the right elbow, rising, firing, scoring again. Braden Smith off to a good start for the Boilermakers, 10 points, and Purdue's up 20-17.
That is an extremely difficult fadeaway pull-up there, but we've seen Braden make that often throughout his career.
Hamilton chest pass right side to Jiffa, right back to Hamilton. He's on the perimeter left. Dribble hand off to Benham, back to Jiffa, coming downhill from the left side of the paint. Kick it out for a three on the right wing. That is good, made by Thiam. The Minnesota transfer, 6 points, and it's tied at 20 apiece.
And that's where fouling a guy on a three-point shot earlier, he's allowed to see all those free throws go in. It gives him confidence the next time it finds him, and he makes the Purdue pay.
Braden Smith tried to make him pay at the other end, but he missed the three, and now a foul on Trey Kaufman-Wren, trying to get an offensive rebound. Second foul on Trey Kaufman-Wren, the first-team All-Big Ten performer. Will go to the bench with 2 fouls. He'll be replaced by Will Berg.
That is a big call in this first half. I had a pretty good look at it. Trey definitely using the left shoulder there to try to create space for the rebound, but I didn't think it was anything over the top that should necessarily draw a foul, but not the way the officials saw it, and a huge call that goes against Purdue.
Hamilton off a screen, shooting a three, top of the key, missed badly off the right side of the rim, rebounded by Purdue's C.J. Cox. Purdue on the run, left to right. A three from Harris in the left corner is short. Rebounded C.J. Cox of the Boilermakers. Well, there have been a lot of offensive rebounds in this game, but neither team seems to take advantage of them all the time anyway. Braden Smith, right elbow, fall away jumper, long, rebounded C.J. Cox. His put back good. C.J. Cox, Massachusetts kid, offensive rebound and a bucket. Purdue leads 22-20.
Big moment there for C.J. Only an hour drive away from his home, and he comes through with 2 offensive rebounds on that possession. The second time, sticking it back off the glass.
Jiffa, the Panthers at the right elbow, leans into Will Berg and was fouled on a jump shot. Matt Painter didn't think that should have been called a foul. It was. 2 free throws coming here for Keza Jiffa, who's an 86% foul shooter. This is a good foul shooting high point team. They're 76% this season as a team from the foul line.
How about the rebounding? Purdue 9 offensive rebounds early in this game. Just crushing high point on the glass, 18-8 as Jiffa leaves the first free throw short.
Jiffa last year, second most made free throws in the country. Second most. The only guy that made more, Zach Edey.
Oh, we know that guy.
Left-handed Jiffa, deep breath, dribbles twice, shoots, made it. So he missed the first. He made the second. Purdue leading 22-21 with 8:15 to go in this opening half. Braden Smith guarded closely over the 10-second barrier left to right by Abdoulaye Thiam. Braden, chest pass right wing Lawyer, dribbles right elbow, now gets to the right block, leans in on the defender and stops, throws it way out high on the right arc, caught by Braden Smith, shot clock's at 10. Braden Smith between the circles, shot clock at 5. He wants a screen from Will Berg, he gets it, dribbles to the left elbow, rises, shoots, and no, he was fouled with 1 on the shot clock. He tricked the defender into taking the bait on the shot fake. Foul on Hamilton, his second. Timeout on the floor. Purdue 22, High Point 21. The 2024 Purdue basketball season presented by Purdue Global. Earn a degree you'll be proud of with Purdue Global, Purdue's online university for working adults and the preferred online university degree provider of the Guild and Team USA Learning Network. Start your comeback today at purdueglobal.edu. This is Boilermaker Basketball on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
Franciscan Health is proud to be the official medical provider for Purdue Athletics. Does a sudden sports injury have you on the bench? We can assist. Franciscan Health sports medicine specialists have mastered a team approach to sports injuries. You'll have access to a network of orthopedic professionals, rehabilitation services, and highly advanced technologies and treatments to get you back out on the field. To learn more, visit franciscanhealth.org/sportsmedicine.
We Boilermakers show our pride in a number of ways, from a Purdue flag flying high on game day to a black and gold tie worn to the office. That loyalty is built on precious memories, time-honored traditions, and lifelong friendships. It's everlasting, and it stays with you wherever you go. So whether you're at Mackey Arena, your hometown grocery store, or across the country, the pride is always there. And now with the Purdue Federal Visa Signature Card, you have one more way to show your pride. Purdue Federal, the official credit card for Purdue fans everywhere. Federally insured by NCUA.
U.S. Foods and the Purdue Boilermakers. What a recipe for success. Like Purdue, we both stand for quality and value. From our state-of-the-art Indianapolis-based distribution center, we at U.S. Foods are committed to meeting our customers' needs by providing all your quality food service and equipment products throughout all of Indiana and Northern Kentucky. It's what we do to bring guests into your business every day that makes the difference. Enjoy the game and remember, U.S. Foods, the official food service supplier of Purdue Athletics.
Purdue University. We're in the persistent pursuit of the next giant leap. We're developing solutions to today's toughest challenges and building a better world together. From our research labs in West Lafayette to new opportunities at Purdue University in Indianapolis. Together, we dare to go first and picture what's next in a first-of-its-kind short film, Boilers to Mars. Find out about our legacy and future in space at boilerstomars.com.
This is Caleb First, and you're listening to Purdue Basketball.
On the Central Indiana Honda dealer scoreboard, Purdue 22, High Point 21. 7:49 remains in the first half, and at the foul line when we resume action will be Braden Smith of the Boilermakers with 2 foul shots. You're good at being you, and Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance good at your insurance. Find an agent to help you or get a quote today at infb.com. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood. Will Berg out of the timeout to play in the front court with Purdue's Caleb First as Trey Kaufman-Wren currently on the bench with 2 fouls for the Boilermakers. C.J. Cox and Fletcher Lawyer playing alongside Braden Smith.
We'll see what Coach Painter does with Trey. Does he try to squeeze him back in for some offensive possessions to close this half? Granted, he did pick up his second foul as Braden Smith leaves the first free throw short. Trey does pick up that second foul on the offensive end, trying to get an offensive rebound. But you would hate to think that he would finish the rest of this half on the bench unless Purdue thrives while he's out.
Braden, 83% foul shooter, splits the free throws. He has 10 points. Purdue leads 23-21. High Point the ball in purple uniforms from High Point, North Carolina. A school of 6,200 undergrads. Jiffa to Hamilton, who's playing with 2 fouls. Back to Jiffa between the circles to Thiem. A 3 on the deep left arc is an air ball, but caught on the far right baseline. Mo out of bounds. Out of bounds. It was an air ball that I thought Williams was going to save inbounds on the far baseline, but he had a foot out of bounds. Purdue gets the ball.
Yep, you nailed it, Rob. He originally got it, and I think his toe, as he tried to maneuver himself to stay in bounds, wiggled out of bounds on that baseline, and Purdue takes over.
Thiem guarding closely, Braden Smith. Left to right, Braden. Chest pass to the right wing to Lawyer. Back to Braden Smith. Now to the right corner, C.J. Cox. To Lawyer. Tried to lob it to Berg, and a foul. A foul. The pass was a poor one, but because Bodo put his hands on Berg and wouldn't allow him to go chase the loose ball, Bodo gets hit with a foul, his first. Team foul number 5 on High Point. Purdue catches a break there because that could have easily been a turnover. Bodo just would have not grabbed Will Berg.
You're right. I think it's the right call, though. He reached out and grabbed Berg as Berg was going after that loose ball.
Braden Smith, fall-away jumper, left elbow. It's no good, and rebounded on the baseline. Called out of there by Jiffa of High Point. He's racing right to left is Jiffa to Thiem. He dribbles in, stops at the right elbow, kicks into the right corner, and Hamilton traveled. Hamilton shot faked his way into a drive, the old rip and go. But he traveled while doing the rip part of the movement.
Yep, the pump fake there from Hamilton. Probably should have shot that 3 in rhythm. Had a pretty good look. Hamilton, a capable three-point shooter, shooting 33% on the year. But he didn't want that shot, tried to rip and go left and shuffled the feet pretty obviously there right in front of the official.
4 turnovers for High Point. Purdue's turned it over 3 times. Boilermakers 1-0 all-time against High Point. Played these guys back in November of 2011 at Mackey Arena. Trey Kaufman-Wren, short floater. He just came back into the game, and he scores immediately. 8-foot floater, front of the rim. Assist for Braden Smith. Purdue's up 25-21.
What a big-time floater from Trey. We've seen it all year. Now, can he not commit another foul?
Down low. Hamilton short floater good. Check it, that's Williams. DeMarion Williams got to the front of the basket. How about that's the first points in the paint tonight for High Point?
Well, that's been impressive. Purdue's defense has been good enough so far today. Certainly don't like that possession there where it felt way too easy for Williams to get to the front of the rim. Kaufman-Wren not going to be able to provide a lot of resistance down low with the fouls.
6 minutes to go first half. Purdue leading 25-23. Between the circles, dribbling behind his back, Fletcher Lawyer. Leaning in, shooting a fall-away jumper, good. First scoring of the game, Fletcher Lawyer. He averages 13.8 a contest. Purdue leads 27-23 at the 5:45 mark.
Well, that's a welcome sign for Fletch to get that first bucket, but also showing the handles, going both directions, using that left hand.
Deep three in the left corner for Johnston, no good. Camden Heide rebounds. Quickly ahead, Braden Smith. Purdue in transition, left to right. Purdue wants to push tempo, but a good job getting back defensively by the Panthers to shut down Purdue. Boilermakers working their way on a Braden Smith. He tried to give it to Trey Kaufman-Wren. He somehow caught it in traffic and scored. Again, a lucky break for Purdue. That pass should have been stolen, but the High Point defender didn't grab it cleanly. Trey Kaufman-Wren said, okay, thank you. Purdue's up 29-23 with 5:05 to go.
You're right. The High Point defender read the play perfectly. Actually got right into the passing lane, but didn't corral it. It goes right to TKR.
Jiffa stops on the right baseline. Kicks to Johnson, left corner. Now they'll swing it to the right wing. Caught here by Jiffa. Swing it further right side to Marion Williams. Trying to back down Braden Smith from the right arc at 12 feet. Stops. Leans in on the right block. Lost the ball. Got it back. Shoots a left-handed layup and scores. Oh, with a shot clock dwindling. A tough layup for Williams. Purdue's up 29-25.
Oh, what a key little finish there from Williams. He lost the ball, but then what hurt Purdue was he was finishing against Kaufman-Wren, and Trey really had to avoid fouling there, which allowed that easy lay-in at the last second.
4:27 to go. First half. Clock ticking. Trey Kaufman-Wren trying to back down Bodo. Stops. Right-handed hook shot. Scores over the 7-footer. Trey Kaufman-Wren starting to find some rhythm. He has 10 points. Purdue's up 31-25.
Well, Trey, we like him one-on-one against anybody in the country. He just gets that left shoulder into Bodo. Bodo creates that space and has such a soft touch with the righty hook.
Between the circles, Jiffa on a drive. Coming all the way downhill, shooting a wild left-handed shot. It's missed, and Braden Smith rebounds for Purdue. Under 4 minutes to go, opening half. Purdue will lob, and it's off the rim, out of bounds. Last touch by Purdue. Braden Smith got a little too greedy. He tried to lob from three-quarters court to Miles Colvin at the rim, but the ball hit the rim, went out of bounds. We have a timeout on the floor. 3:50 to go in the first half. Purdue leads 31-25 on a Central Indiana Honda dealer scoreboard. This is Boilermaker basketball on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
Purdue University. We're in the persistent pursuit of the next giant leap. We're developing solutions to today's toughest challenges and building a better world together. From our research labs in West Lafayette to new opportunities at Purdue University in Indianapolis. Together, we dare to go first and picture what's next in a first-of-its-kind short film, Boilers to Mars. Find out about our legacy and future in space at boilerstomars.com.
If your company is seeking to relocate or expand quickly, Hancock County, Indiana has a wide variety of business sites, including 4 shovel-ready certified silver business parks, plus higher than normal broadband capacity with an extensive fiber network with more than 2,000 miles of lines. Connecting opportunity with success. Contact the Hancock County Economic Development Council at www.hancockedc.com or at 317-477-7241.
Boiler up. It's March, and at BW Fusion, we're ready for the madness, proudly bleeding black and gold for Purdue. We've got basketball in our hearts, but we've also got farming in our blood. We became leaders in crop nutrition by rolling up our sleeves alongside Indiana farmers, maximizing ROI and boosting efficiency every step of the way. BW Fusion, leaders in the field, because of farmers like you. To learn more about BW Fusion, visit bw-fusion.com.
You know you've got a comeback in you. When you take the next step, you're going to make it count. For your career, for your family, for your life. You can earn a degree you're proud of with Purdue Global. Purdue Global is backed by Purdue University, one of the nation's most respected and innovative public universities. This is your chance. This is your opportunity. This is your comeback. Purdue Global, Purdue's online university for working adults. Start your comeback today at purdueglobal.edu.
Purdue 31, High Point 25. 3:50 to go first half. Here in Providence, Rhode Island, Rob Blackman and Bobby Riddell. We are courtside with the broadcast crew. 10 early points for Braden Smith, 10 for Trey Kaufman-Wren. Looking to buy, sell, or build a home, but don't know where to start? Call trusted agents at True Blood Real Estate, the official real estate partner of Purdue Athletics. Speaking of Braden Smith, he has 4 assists in the first half, which means he is now 4th place all-time, history of the Big Ten, in career assists. As today, he has bypassed the former Illinois Fighting Illini Dimitri McCamey for 4th place. High Point the ball as we resume action. Purdue playing with Will Berg, Fletcher Lawyer, Braden Smith, Camden Heide, and Miles Colvin. Pettiford, the point guard, over the timeline right to left here for the High Point Panthers. The 13 seed out of the Big South Conference, playing in their first ever NCAA tournament game in their school's history. Deep three on a catch and shoot. It is long. Missed over there by Hildebrand. Rebounded by the Boilermakers' Camden Heide. Got an open look on a pick and pop, but Hildebrand missed it. And Heide grabs already his 4th rebound of the game, playing off of the bench. Heide, top of the key, swing it left wing on a chest pass to Lawyer. Now in the left corner it goes on a bounce pass caught by Braden Smith. Hildebrand guards him on a switch on the perimeter left. Shot clock at 8. Smith wants to take Hildebrand off the bounce with a shot clock at 5. Stops from the baseline, pulls the trigger, it's in and out, no good, and Pettiford rebounds for High Point. Here come the Panthers on the run. Marion Williams, top of the key. Hildebrand fakes the 3. Dribbles into the right block. Stops. Spins. Shoots a difficult shot. It's no good. Rebounded Will Berg off the front of the iron. Good defense by Will Berg to force a tough jumper. 2:40 to go first half. Purdue the ball. Purdue a lead of 6. Braden Smith again has Hildebrand on him. Wants to take him here, looking for a clear out. Shot clock at 14. Fakes the shot, dribbles, stops on the left block. Kick out to a Heide 3. No good. Rebound. Miles Colvin. He caught it and he dunked it with 2 hands. He almost tore the rim off of the backboard. Purdue leads 33-25. Miles Colvin.
Holy cow. I think Miles levitated in the air on that one. That was incredible. Acrobatic play there from Miles Colvin.
That brought the Purdue fans to their feet. Pettiford gives to a driving Anderson. It's stolen by Colvin in the middle of the painted area. To Smith, back to Colvin. His layup is missed, but Camden Heide, he catches and he dunks with 2 hands. They're swinging on rims in Providence. Purdue leads 35-25. Timeout, High Point.
What a sequence there for the Boilers, just getting up and down in transition. That's the type of defense and the athleticism we have wanted to see from Miles Colvin and Camden Heide all year long. Crashing the offensive glass, just making impact plays with the athleticism. How about the steal? Miles takes it on that sweep pass from Braden Smith in transition, not able to finish, but Cam Heide swoops in for the 2-handed putback. A couple 2-handed putbacks back-to-back for Heide and Colvin.
Offensive rebounding today, as I have it in my stat sheet, I'm awaiting the official stats. Bob, I have Purdue at 11 offensive rebounds and 13 defensive rebounds. Purdue has been phenomenal on the offensive glass in the first 18 minutes plus. High Point, meanwhile, just 2 offensive rebounds. I said earlier in the game, it felt like both teams are getting a whole bunch of offensive rebounds. My feeling was incorrect. It was just one team that's been getting the offensive rebounds to this point, and it's been Purdue.
Well, sometimes we bemoan a Purdue team that we don't feel like is as quick to the basketball or as active as other teams they play. That has not been the case today. Purdue has been the aggressor, the more active team, flying around, getting 50-50 balls, and it's shown up on the glass. It's 11 offensive rebounds for Purdue, and none more flashy than the 2 they just had in succession with Colvin and Heide back-to-back with the putback jams.
Purdue has 25 total rebounds. We now have the official numbers. 11 offensively, 14 defensively. The Boilermakers lead 35-25. High Point takes a timeout with 1:53 to go in the first half. I hate to make this all about me, but would you mind getting our athletic trainer, Chad Young, over here? I think on that last call of the dunk, I think I pulled something in my left rib cage. I am really in some pain right now.
Day-to-day, Rob Blackman, day-to-day injury, some discomfort in the side.
He, just when I thought there could be nothing more impressive than a Miles Colvin putback dunk a moment ago, in comes Camden Heide. The only thing different about Camden, he came in from the right wing as opposed to Miles, who came in from the left wing. And you talk about high flying. They had literally their forehead on the rim as they grabbed the ball with two hands and dunked it home with both hands.
That Miles Colvin putback was one of the cooler putback jams I've ever seen, and a lot of it, too, was what he did after the dunk. So he snatched it kind of far off the rim and then brought it all the way back, which is, first off, what was really cool. But then secondly, after he jammed it, his momentum was taking him left, and so he kind of swung and turned in a way as he hung on the rim and kind of looked at the crowd. Yeah. It was very fancy, and you could tell he was totally enjoying that putback jam.
Safe to say those are our hustle plays of the game. Our hustle play of the game, always presented by Republic Airways. Apply to Lift Academy. Start your aviation career today. I'll play on even though I'm injured, fans. Purdue with a 10-point lead, and High Point the ball as we're back to action. Pettiford stolen by Braden Smith. That's significant because Braden has just moved himself into rare air in the NCAA history books. More on that in a moment with that takeaway. Purdue leading 35-25 with the ball. 90 seconds remaining. Will Berg to Fletcher Lawyer. Left elbow, and he was fouled. Fletcher was being held by Trey Benham, and that is team foul number 6 on High Point. So Braden Smith now is just the second player in NCAA history with 500-plus points, 275-plus assists, 150-plus rebounds, and 75 steals in a season. The only other player that's ever done it, Kenny Anderson of Georgia Tech. That steal right there puts Braden Smith in the same conversation with Kenny Anderson. Purdue the ball. Shot clock at 12. Driving right elbow Smith. He'll pull the trigger. Missed from 17. Bounced around a couple of times through some fingertips, but finally rebounded by High Point. Here come the Panthers. Anderson a deep three, letting it fly. Left wing, no. Rebounded Camden Heide. Another rebound for Camden Heide. His 6th of the first half. Purdue the ball with less than a minute remaining. Purdue leading by 10. Heide, chest pass far left wing to Colvin. Can Purdue get to halftime with Trey Kaufman-Wren having only 2 fouls? Braden Smith, hesitation dribble. On the left baseline, he stops. Gives to Colvin. A 3 on the way. And an out, no good. What a hit that would have been. But now a foul on whom?
Hildebrand.
Yes, sir, and that puts Will Berg at the line. Hildebrand was fighting with Berg for rebounding position. Hildebrand hit with a foul, team foul number 7. Will Berg to the line. The problem, Purdue's Will Berg is just 8 of 15 this year at the foul line. He rarely shoots free throws.
That is certainly a problem, but hey, hopefully Will's able to step up in this moment.
Here's a chance for the young man who wears number 44 on the jersey, the redshirt sophomore from Stockholm, Sweden. Free throw, no good. Long off the back of the rim, and Pettiford rebounds for High Point. Here come the Panthers quickly. Pettiford all the way to the rim. Left-handed layup, good. No one stopped him. He just raced down the floor, and all of a sudden it's an 8-point Purdue lead, and Purdue can hold for the final shot of the first half.
Oh, nice play there by Pettiford. Really forcing the tempo there as he went coast to coast with a scooping left-handed layup, and then he put some nice English on it to get it to go.
Timeout Purdue. Matt Painter with the use it or lose it timeout. Purdue leading 35-27. Join Boilermaker Alliance today. Purdue's official name, image, and likeness collective supporting Purdue athletes. Visit boilermakeralliance.com to learn more. Rob Blackman here with Bobby Riddell. On-site audio engineer is Wes Scott. It's Darren McDermott working the audio board for us back at our Learfield studios in Jefferson City, Missouri. Purdue has had to try to work their way gingerly through the first half with their leading scorer, Trey Kaufman-Wren, in foul trouble. 20 points a game for TK, and he's been on the bench with 2 fouls. He does have 10 points. He's been productive in the rare opportunities he's been out there. But now Purdue will have the final shot, if they don't turn it over, of the first half. We're at 22.7 to go in the half. Purdue 35, High Point 27.
A little surprised they're not bringing Trey in for this final offensive possession. But with him sitting as long as he has. Maybe they just want to go with this unit that's out here and been moving. But you love Purdue being up 8 points. You certainly take that. But it does feel like here these last couple possessions, missing a 1-and-1, having Braden Smith miss a good open pull-up jumper, having a Miles Colvin 3 rattle in and out. You've had some good looks you haven't been able to capitalize on.
Back to action. Purdue in the front court to our right. Dribbling is Braden Smith, guarded by Bobby Pettiford. Shot clock down to 10. Game clock, I should say, down to 10. Here goes Braden Smith. Right elbow. Now pulls out to the right wing. Now dribbles into the right block. Shoots a wild shot. Grabbed out of there and hit in the bucket from the weak side by Will Berg. Will Berg was on the back side of the bucket. No one blocked him out. And he tipped it into the basket as time expired. Will Berg. Oh, my. He has been so big for the Boilermakers in the first 20 minutes. Trey Kaufman-Wren, tell you what, we love you, baby. But Will Berg has filled in for your stead quite well here today. Halftime in Providence, Rhode Island. Purdue 37, High Point 27 as we take a timeout. Halftime report begins when we come back. This is Boilermaker Basketball on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
We Boilermakers show our pride in a number of ways. From a Purdue flag flying high on game day to a black and gold tie worn to the office. That loyalty is built on precious memories, time-honored traditions, and lifelong friendships. It's everlasting, and it stays with you wherever you go. So whether you're at Mackey Arena, your hometown grocery store, or across the country, the pride is always there. And now with the Purdue Federal Visa Signature Card, you have one more way to show your pride. Purdue Federal, the official credit card for Purdue fans everywhere. Federally insured by NCUA.
The best cars for the money are Hondas. Now, save big with 0% APR. The 25 Accord, Civic, Passport, and Odyssey have been named the best cars for the money by U.S. News & World Report. Save thousands with 0%, like the 24 Prologue with 0 APR. To drive the best, search a local Honda dealer today.
See dealer for financing details. Financing on credit approval offer ends 4/30/25. View U.S. News best cars at cars.usnews.com.
At Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, we're good at insurance. But not just any insurance. We're good at...
No.
Did you forget the parking brake? Yes, you forgot the parking brake. Insurance. When the forecast calls for cheeseball-sized hail insurance. Even shouldn't have parked under that tree. Insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
You want it? We got it. University Bookstore has you covered on all Purdue athletic sports apparel. Shop online at PurdueU.com. Anything and everything you need. Or visit our main location across from the Union and our stadium store across from Mackey Arena. You want it? We got it. At University Bookstore.
University Bookstore. We're more than just a bookstore.
UBS, a proud partner of Purdue Athletics.
On the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield, Boilermaker Basketball is brought to you by Coors Light. Choose chill. Proud sponsor of the Purdue Boilermakers. Also brought to you by Case IH. Take your success off the court and out into the field with Case IH's superior farming tools. Visit your local Case IH dealers or learn more at caseih.com/Boilermakers. And by Indiana Kitchen Premium Pork Products. Get to know us at indianakitchen.com. Purdue Boilermaker Basketball is on the air. This is the Boilermaker Halftime Show.
Halftime in Providence, Rhode Island. We are at the Amica Mutual Pavilion. First round of the NCAA Tournament. And the Purdue Boilermakers have a 37-27 lead over High Point. Purdue, the 4 seed. High Point, the 13 seed. Good afternoon, everyone. Rob Blackman here, and thank you for making us a part of your weekday afternoon with the Boilermakers and the Panthers of High Point. My broadcast partner, Bobby Riddell, is sitting beside me. Purdue does have the 10-point lead here at halftime. The month of March has a funny way of bringing to the forefront sometimes some unlikely heroes. And look, we're still a long way away here. We're only one half into the books of this matchup between High Point and Purdue. But if you had to pick a hero of the first 20 minutes for the Boilermakers, how about the seldom-used Will Berg? Played 8 minutes of the first half. That was because of foul trouble to Trey Kaufman-Wren. Had 4 points, had 2 rebounds, and another stat that goes unnoticed, he forced 2 fouls committed against him from the opposition. Will Berg, nice to have you show up in the month of March. He's been fantastic for Purdue.
Absolutely. What a big contribution from Will Berg off the bench, especially with Trey Kaufman-Wren saddled with the 2 fouls. You know, I think this is a lot of what the staff thought they might get from Will Berg this year. I think they were hoping, he won the starting job coming out of preseason camp, was given the starting center nod in that charity exhibition against Ryan Kalkbrenner and Creighton. I think they envisioned him maybe being a guy who could give you, 8 to 10 minutes a half, provide some size, some rim protection, block a shot or 2, get a layup or jam around the basket. They loved his screening. That was a thing that was applauded a lot during the preseason, was his 2-man game with Braden Smith. He was such a good screener. And we have seen some of that unfold here in this first half. But you even talked about just being as big as he is, drawing some fouls. Hildebrand trying to box him out, just overdoing it, picks up a foul. Will wasn't perfect, missed a 1-and-1, picked up a foul on Jiffa here on the other end where he got a little off balance, but pretty solid contributions overall, obviously, especially when you consider the fact that he has not been giving Purdue much contributions throughout this season. So, yeah, big lift there by Will Berg. Happy for him. That shot at the end of the half there on the tip-in, just such a big momentum play to go into the halftime locker room.
That is an individual number or numbers that we want to point out at halftime. From a team statistical number, look at the 13 offensive rebounds for Purdue, Bob. 13 rebounds have led to 14 second-chance points. You mentioned it in your pregame thoughts. When you look at High Point, top 25 in the country in rebound margin. They're one of the best rebounding teams in the country. Purdue's out-rebounded them 28-12.
And it's honestly not even really been close. It just feels like Purdue's just been the more dominant team by a long shot when it comes to rebounding, flying around. Cam and Heidi always around the basketball, but we've been seeing that from Cam, this last month or so in impressive fashion. Purdue just dominating the interior. Points in the paint, 24-8. If you would have told me Purdue was going to be 2 for 9 from 3 in the first half, just 22%, I would have been concerned. And the fact that we're up double digits with those 3-point shooting numbers, has to make you feel good, because you would think Purdue's got some makes in the second half coming their way from 3. Also, Braden Smith, after a hot start, shooting the basketball to start the half, he really went cold down the stretch, shooting the basketball. What is he now from the field? Just 3 of 11, right? So, Braden Smith to be 3 of 11 from the field, for Purdue to be 2 of 9 from 3 and up double figures, you got to be really happy if you're Purdue, because Purdue's done some things that travel. Rebounding, defense, those things can travel, and Purdue's done a great job of that so far.
One other final statistical note before we take a break. The fact that Purdue only turned it over 4 times in the first half, as opposed to the 6 turnovers for High Point. Purdue right now winning the rebounding battle. Purdue right now winning the turnover battle, which the numbers would tell you in the Matt Painter era almost, not always, but darn near always lead to victory.
They really do. Winning the possession battle, so critical. And you're playing in the NCAA tournament, possessions, all the margins are important. And I'll also give Purdue credit. Defensively, they're flying around. They're doing a really nice job, for the most part, keeping the ball out of the paint. It's been a fun half of basketball to watch from Purdue. Now, hopefully, some shots start falling even more for Purdue, and they keep up doing those things on the margins. And you could end up with a comfortable win for Purdue, but let's be honest, we should expect a run from High Point in the second half as well.
Well, think about this. High Point, in their conference championship game, trailed by 15 in the second half. They came back to win. So, you couple that,
point.
And let's couple that with the fact that we've seen our own Boilermakers
Yes.
double-digit lead in the second half against Ohio State, double-digit lead against Indiana. Lost both those games.
Michigan on the road as well.
Oh, thanks for bringing that one up. I'd forgotten that one.
I mean, you're right, though. There's been a lot of games Purdue has played really good first halves here as of late and squandered them in the second half. And you're right. Coach Huss, we know what he's saying in that locker room. They're like, hey, guys, we were down 15 in that conference championship game. We've been here before. We can come out and be the aggressor in the second half. And so both those coaching staffs are in their halftime locker rooms emphasizing how critical the first 5 minutes of the second half is going to be. We'll see. Hopefully the Boilers come out red hot.
Halftime here in Providence, Rhode Island. Opening round action of the NCAA Tournament. We call it March Madness. It's Purdue 37, High Point 27. When we come back to the halftime report, I'll give you all the halftime statistics brought to you by Ruoff Home Mortgage. This is Boilermaker Basketball on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
You work hard. And at First Farmers Bank and Trust, we work hard for you. Since 1885, we've committed to helping families, businesses, and communities thrive financially. From home to the office, to the field, to the arena. We value hard work and perseverance as much as you do. Experience banking built on heart and grit today. Learn more at ffbt.com. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
U.S. Foods and the Purdue Boilermakers. What a recipe for success. Like Purdue, we both stand for quality and value. From our state-of-the-art Indianapolis-based distribution center, we at U.S. Foods are committed to meeting our customers' needs by providing all your quality food service and equipment products throughout all of Indiana and Northern Kentucky. It's what we do to bring guests into your business every day that makes the difference. Enjoy the game and remember, U.S. Foods, the official food service supplier of Purdue Athletics.
Franciscan Health is proud to be the official medical provider for Purdue Athletics. Does a sudden sports injury have you on the bench? We can assist. Franciscan Health sports medicine specialists have mastered a team approach to sports injuries. You'll have access to a network of orthopedic professionals, rehabilitation services, and highly advanced technologies and treatments to get you back out on the field. To learn more, visit franciscanhealth.org/sportsmedicine.
Boiler up. It's March, and at BW Fusion, we're ready for the madness, proudly bleeding black and gold for Purdue. We've got basketball in our hearts, but we've also got farming in our blood. We became leaders in crop nutrition by rolling up our sleeves alongside Indiana farmers, maximizing ROI and boosting efficiency every step of the way. BW Fusion, leaders in the field, because of farmers like you. To learn more about BW Fusion, visit bw-fusion.com.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by Purdue University. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the university and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the university.
Halftime, NCAA first round action. We're in Providence, Rhode Island, where Purdue, the 4 seed, leads the 13 seed High Point, the Panthers, 37-27. I'm Rob Blackman as we look at the halftime statistics presented by Ruoff Mortgage. Ruoff Mortgage is here to help you through all stages of the home buying or refinancing process with loan options that work best for you. We're your local lender. Learn more at ruoff.com. That's RUOFF.com. High Point in the first half, 9 of 26 shooting. That's just 34.6%. They're one of the better shooting teams in the country. High Point coming in at 49% as a team, 7th best in the nation. But right now, 34.6%. They were 5 of 16 from 3. That's 31%. They shot 16 threes and only 10 twos. High Point was 4 of 5 at the foul line. 12 total rebounds for the Panthers, 2 offensively. They had 6 assists on the 9 made buckets. 3 of those came from Terry Anderson. 2 steals and 1 block shot. Leading scorers for High Point through the first 20 minutes are Damarion Williams with 7 points and Abdoulaye Thiam with 6. Purdue was 16 of 38 shooting, 42.1%. Purdue was 2 of 9 from the three-point line, just 22.2%. Purdue, 11th best in the country in three-point shooting, 38.5%, but just 2 of 9, as I mentioned, in the first 20 minutes. Purdue was 3 of 5 at the foul line. Boilermakers 28 rebounds, 13 offensively. That led to 14 second-chance points. Purdue had just 4 assists on the 16 made buckets, and all 4 assists came from Braden Smith. Purdue had 4 turnovers. Purdue had 3 steals, 2 of the 3 from Braden Smith. Purdue's leading scorers, Trey Kaufman-Wren with 10 first-half points, Braden Smith with 10 first-half points. Points off turnovers, High Point 6, Purdue 4. Points in the paint, Purdue 24, High Point 8. Second chance points, Purdue 14, High Point 2. Fast break points, 2 for each ball club. Points off the bench, High Point 14, Purdue 11. The score, Purdue 37, High Point 27. Out-of-town scoreboard presented by your Central Indiana Honda dealers. When we come back, this is Boilermaker basketball on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
At Indiana Kitchen Premium Pork Products, just 20 miles down the road from Mackey Arena, we're not just really good bacon makers.
We're Purdue alumni.
We're student interns.
We're student parents.
We're fans.
We're season ticket holders.
We're John Purdue Club members.
We're boilermakers.
I'm Russ Sherwood, president at Indiana Kitchen, and on behalf of everyone here, we're proud to say our bacon is more than just locally made. Our Indiana Kitchen bacon is boiler made.
Visit IndianaKitchen.com, proud sponsor of Purdue Athletics.
This is your moment, your time to shine, your comeback. You're ready for the next step in your career, and you want an education employers respect. So you're not just going back to school, you're coming back with Purdue Global. Backed by Purdue University, one of the nation's most respected public universities, Purdue Global is built for people who bring their life experience into the online classroom. Purdue Global, Purdue's online university for working adults. Start your comeback today at purdueglobal.edu.
It's that time of year again. My schedule is packed with bracket-busting, three-point shooting, nonstop basketball action. I don't want to miss a second of it. That's why I go for a 5-hour energy shot. They're perfect for my days packed with back-to-back games or when my favorite team's playing late. 5-hour energy keeps me going during the broadcast and the next morning when I need to get myself up and to work. Visit 5hourenergy.com for great deals and to stock up before tip-off.
With the Boilermakers, every pass, shot, layup, and score is more than just part of the game. It's a testament to the teamwork, elbow grease, and can-do attitude it takes to win. In the same way, Case IH knows every successful farm is more than just a farm. It's the product of top-notch tillage, planting, harvesting, hay, and forage equipment at the hands of hardworking growers. Get a slam dunk by visiting your local Case IH dealer or go to caseih.com/Boilermakers to learn more. Boiler up!
Welcome back here to the halftime show where Purdue leads High Point 37-27 in the first round of the NCAA Tournament from Providence, Rhode Island. Time now to take a look at our out-of-town scores, and today's out-of-town scores are brought to you by your Central Indiana Honda dealers. Let's take a look at the NCAA Tournament action taking place so far today. There's 2 other games currently underway. The 9-seed Creighton Blue Jays with a 65-50 lead over the 8-seed Louisville Cardinals in the South region. 11:45 to go in the second half. A game currently airing on CBS. Then the other game underway in the first half, 12:19 to go on TNT. 3-seed Wisconsin leads 14-seed Montana 13-10. That game part of the East Regional. Moving forward, some other games to be played. At 2 o'clock on TBS, the 1-seed Houston Cougars will take on SIUE, the 16-seed. And then another 16-1 matchup, Alabama State, the 16-seed in the South region, taking on the number 1 overall seed, the Auburn Tigers. That game will tip at 2:50 on CBS. And then the game that'll follow this Purdue High Point matchup, the winner of this Purdue High Point game will take on the winner of the 12-seed McNeese, taking on 5-seed Clemson Tigers. That game will tip at around 3:15 p.m. Drive the road win with Honda and have fun off the court with the most fun-to-drive vehicles. Your Central Indiana Honda dealers are proud supporters of Purdue Athletics. We'll take a look at the keys to the second half in just a moment when we return to the halftime report. This is Boilermaker Basketball on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
At Farm Credit Mid-America and Rural First, we do more than lend. We lift up our rural communities that we serve, too. From our day-to-day business of providing reliable credit to farmers and rural residents, to our community investment efforts and scholarships for college students, we help Indiana's rural communities find their next level. Visit FCMA.com to learn more about how we work with partners like Purdue University. Boiler up. Farm Credit Mid-America and Rural First are equal opportunity lenders.
Indiana farmers, building new markets takes time and pays back dividends with long-term demand for your crops. High oleic soybean oil drives new demand for Indiana soybeans to domestic and international markets. Plus, it's a healthier oil, more desirable to customers. Your checkoff is building this demand right here in Indiana. Purdue Athletics is proud to offer their foods prepared in heart-healthy, high oleic soybean oil this season. Learn more about this oil at incornandsoy.org/premiums. This message was funded by Indiana's soybean farmers and their checkoff.
You want it? We got it. University Bookstore has you covered on all Purdue Athletic sports apparel. Shop online at PurdueU.com. Anything and everything you need. Or visit our main location across from the Union and our stadium store across from Mackey Arena. You want it? We got it at University Bookstore.
University Bookstore, we're more than just a bookstore.
UBS, a proud partner of Purdue Athletics.
It's Truck Month with the Ford crew.
Sam, do you know what these trucks have in common?
They're all Ford trucks.
And
they're built Ford tough?
Also true, but specifically they're Ford F-Series trucks, the best-selling trucks in America for 48 years.
48 years? We should celebrate a month-long event.
Sam.
A truckload of value.
Sam.
Across the entire lineup of Ford trucks.
Sam.
That's called Truck Month already, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I knew it.
Based on 1977 to 2024 CY Industry reported total sales.
Rob Blackman, Bobby Riddell, courtside, Providence, Rhode Island. Almost time to start the second half. Purdue and High Point. Purdue leading 37-27. Second half adjustments by Riddell for the Boilermakers. I have one. Trey Kaufman-Renn, stay out of foul trouble. How's that one for you?
No doubt. As happy as we were to see Will Berg come in and give those contributions, in the NCAA tournament, you don't want to have to rely on your guys off the bench for extended minutes and your star players not to be on the floor in the second half of these games that are likely to be close. So you're right. That's a big part of this second half is have Trey Kaufman-Renn stay out of foul trouble. And looks like we got a little second half adjustment by the Boilers from a lineup construction standpoint.
Camden Heide starts the second half in place of Caleb First. So Heide and Cox with Braden Smith, Trey Kaufman-Renn, Fletcher Lawyer. The first possession of the second half belongs to High Point. They attack the basket to our right, and we are underway here in the second half. Sold out building for a first round game. Just over 11,600 in the building here. Williams will lob for Bodo. Bodo, he catches and dunks. That's how High Point starts the second half.
And they went to some Spain action on the side of the floor there with the back screen for Bodo after he set the initial ball screen, and Purdue major breakdown there. That's an easy jam.
Trey Kaufman-Renn wants to drive on Bodo. He attacks him and scores. Driving in from the right block, shot faked, and then went right through him to score. 12 points for Trey Kaufman-Renn. It's 39-29 Purdue.
That's why you want to see Trey on the floor the second half. That is a high-level move through the chest to Bodo.
Here's Bodo holding the ball above his head, top of the key. He'll hand it off to Demarion Williams, who dribbles into the free throw line, kicks it for an open three. It's missed from the right wing, but Bodo rebounds. He'll attack Trey Kaufman-Renn and score. So the big fellas for both teams are getting busy early here. 60 seconds into the second half. Purdue leads 39-31.
You get fortunate to have Chase Johnson miss another three, but you don't get the board, and Bodo showed why he's such a good offensive rebounder.
Just the third offensive rebound of the game for the High Point Panthers, and now they come up with a steal defensively. Johnston a three in transition. Good from the right wing. Chase Johnston, 43% from three, makes it a 5-point Purdue lead, 39-34.
And Braden Smith, another live ball turnover. They're fearing that action on the ball screen, and the guard is going back to take away Trey Kaufman-Renn.
Braden Smith, left elbow, chest pass to Fletcher Lawyer, perimeter left wing. Looks like High Point's really stepped up the defense here in the second half. Trey Kaufman-Renn trying to back down Bodo. Leans in. He's double teamed, and we'll have a foul. A foul on the double down. On High Point, Demarion Williams is second. Purdue inbounds baseline left. 18:09 to go in the game. Purdue 39, High Point 34. Looks like High Point again is really stressed getting their defense cranked up in the second half. C.J. Cox to Trey Kaufman-Renn. He's at the elbow right. Retreat dribbles, now goes ahead and shoots a 15-footer, scores. Trey literally looked like he said, okay, if you're going to back off that far, I'll just shoot what is essentially a free throw, and he makes it. Purdue's up 41-34.
And a smart play by Trey. Thought about taking just a 15-foot pull-up jumper, but instead got to that more comfortable floater.
Jiffa floater good at the other end. 6 points, Keza Jiffa. That one from 12 feet away. Purdue 41, High Point 36. 17:30 remains in a game. Again, High Point, a race to 15 points, second half deficit to win the Big South tournament. Braden Smith, right elbow, good. He got to his point, rising, firing, scoring. Purdue leads 43-36.
That's a huge sign for Purdue. He's going to get a lot of those kind of mid-range shots, and he's been forcing some passes that aren't there and needs to take those pull-up jumpers that he has available to him. Nice to see that one rip the cords.
Boda to Williams, dribbling into the right block, lost the ball out of bounds, baseline right. Last touch by High Point. Their 7th turnover of the game. C.J. Cox came in with a swipe, and he got just enough of the ball to knock it out of the hands of the High Point ball handler. And now Purdue takes the ball baseline right, attacking the bucket to our left. We played 3 minutes of the second half. Purdue leads 43-36.
Nice job being in the gaps there, C.J. Cox, to get that strip.
Braden Smith coming down the right side of the pike. He was fouled on the pass. Got hit in the head as he got to the rim. He didn't attempt a shot. Chase Johnston caught him on the side of the noggin. First foul on Johnston. Purdue inbounds baseline left. Purdue leading 43-36.
Let's see what Purdue runs here. Under out of bounds. We've seen High Point go man-to-man and zone.
Purdue threw it into Trey Kaufman, and he was fouled on the entry pass. This one also against Chase Johnston, who gave a body check to Trey Kaufman-Wren as he was trying to cut to the right block and receive the baseline pass. Purdue will try again from the baseline to throw it in. Boilermakers have to lob it to Trey Kaufman-Wren. Catches in the right corner. Johnston on him. Trey's going to try to back down the smaller Johnston. Here comes the double team, and he's fouled again. Fouled again by the same player, Chase Johnston, who just made a three a moment ago for High Point, and now has committed 3 fouls within roughly about 30 seconds. And Johnston's going to have to come out of the game. He's begging his coach, Alan Huss, to keep him in the game, but he's coming out, replaced by Trey Benham.
Those are big calls. He just saw a three go through, so you know he's a guy who was searching for another one.
Purdue inbounds cleanly this time with Braden Smith holding the ball on the March Madness logo. Dribbling to the right elbow, stopping, falling away, shooting, and in and out, no good, right elbow. And lost out of bounds by High Point. Bodo was fighting his own teammate Hamilton for the ball, and neither had it cleanly. Out of bounds, baseline left. Purdue keeps the possession with 20 on the shot clock.
How about that? 2 guys boxing Cam Nahidi out under the basket and left Bodo, it looked like, to get that offensive rebound by himself, but all the congestion, I think, had him a little bit rattled.
Purdue struggles to get it in, but throws to Trey Kaufman-Wren in the right corner. Now he's working on Bodo, just trying to back him down in from the right wing. Will spin and shoot with a right-handed hook shot, but left it long. Hamilton rebounds, weak side for High Point. They want to push the tempo. Here they come left to right. The purple-clad Panthers catching 3 for Benham, right wing, good. So Benham subs into the game, and he knocks in a triple. Purdue's up 43-39 with 16:09 to go in the game.
Well, they've gotten big contributions from their bench all season long, and Benham, a massive shot as he comes in for Johnston in foul trouble.
Braden Smith off a screen on the right wing, all the way to the bucket, gives to Trey Kaufman-Wren. He shoots and was fouled by Bodo. The fans in the building that root for High Point don't like the call. Timeout on the floor. Trey Kaufman-Wren will be at the line when we come back. 15:55 to go in the ball game. Purdue 43, High Point 39 on a Central Indiana Honda dealer scoreboard. This is Boilermaker basketball on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
We Boilermakers show our pride in a number of ways. From a Purdue flag flying high on game day to a black and gold tie worn to the office. That loyalty is built on precious memories, time-honored traditions, and lifelong friendships. It's everlasting, and it stays with you wherever you go. So whether you're at Mackey Arena, your hometown grocery store, or across the country, the pride is always there. And now with the Purdue Federal Visa Signature Card, you have one more way to show your pride. Purdue Federal, the official credit card for Purdue fans everywhere. Federally insured by NCUA.
You know you've got a comeback in you. When you take the next step, you're going to make it count for your career, for your family, for your life. You can earn a degree you're proud of with Purdue Global. Purdue Global is backed by Purdue University, one of the nation's most respected and innovative public universities. This is your chance. This is your opportunity. This is your comeback. Purdue Global, Purdue's online university for working adults. Start your comeback today at purdueglobal.edu.
Franciscan Health is proud to be the official medical provider for Purdue Athletics. Does a sudden sports injury have you on the bench? We can assist. Franciscan Health sports medicine specialists have mastered a team approach to sports injuries. You'll have access to a network of orthopedic professionals, rehabilitation services, and highly advanced technologies and treatments to get you back out on the field. To learn more, visit franciscanhealth.org/sportsmedicine.
Boiler up. It's March, and at BW Fusion, we're ready for the madness, proudly bleeding black and gold for Purdue. We've got basketball in our hearts, but we've also got farming in our blood. We became leaders in crop nutrition by rolling up our sleeves alongside Indiana farmers, maximizing ROI and boosting efficiency every step of the way. BW Fusion, leaders in the field, because of farmers like you. To learn more about BW Fusion, visit bw-fusion.com.
This is TKR, and you're listening to Purdue Basketball.
Purdue 43, High Point 39. 15:55 remains in the game. High Point 2 of 3 from the three-point line in the second half. That's why they are crawling back into this game after trailing by 10 at the halftime horn. The unexpected happens every day. When it does, head to Kohl's and Kohl's.com for everything your family needs. Kohl's, where families come first. As we pause 10 seconds for station identification, this is Boilermaker basketball from Learfield. Foul line left for Trey Kaufman-Wren. 2 foul shots here for Trey, who has 14 points in the game. 65% foul shooter. Misses the first. It was long.
Well, Rob, outside of the one possession where C.J. Cox forced a turnover, Purdue has not got a stop yet on the defensive end of the floor. They're 5 of 6 from the field, and their one miss, they got the rebound back and scored.
One more foul shot, Trey Kaufman-Wren. Bending the knee, shooting, made the second. So he goes 1 for 2, extends the Purdue lead to 44-39. As Jiffa brings the ball quickly up the floor, left to right, guarded by C.J. Cox. C.J. from just an hour away, Lexington, Massachusetts. A lot of family and friends here watching the hometown kid. Hamilton, perimeter right, Heidi's on him. Drives right elbow, stops. Gives to Benham, who will drive. Kick back to Hamilton for an open three in the right wing. Air ball, well short. That was short by a good 3 feet.
That came off his hand. Wow. Absurdly wrong.
Purdue rebounded it. Trey Kaufman-Wren. Now Purdue the ball with a 5-point advantage. Trey Kaufman-Wren a catch, right arc. Boy, they're doing a good job denying the ball from Braden Smith, aren't they? Knocked out of bounds, last touch by High Point. Fletcher Lawyer had the ball in his hands, and they knocked it away from him out of bounds on the sideline directly across from us. I can see Coach Huss of High Point telling his guys to just face guard Braden Smith wherever he goes. And they're doing a good job of it. Braden will drive, he'll shoot. He was fouled as he came down the left side of the paint. Keza Jiffa, too much body on Braden Smith. That's already team foul number 6 against High Point at the 15-11 mark. And 2 foul shots are coming for the consensus first-team All-American Braden Smith, who has scored over 1,300 points in his Purdue career. First free throw in and out. Boy, Braden rarely misses foul shots. He's an 83% foul shooter, but that's 2 he's missed here today.
Well, how about this, Rob? 15-11 to go in this second half as Braden makes the second free throw. The next time there's a foul, Purdue's going to be in the bonus.
Stoppage of play. Camden Heide and Kamani Hamilton were getting after one another, so the official stopped the game, didn't call a foul, just said, let's clean it up, guys. And now we play on. Left to right, here come the Panthers out of the Big South Conference. Jiffa, their point guard, perimeter right, picks up the dribble, goes to the dribbler Benham, who works his way between the rings and left side handoff to Demarion Williams. Williams, top of the key, right side, Jiffa, catch and shoot three on the way. It is short. Boda rebounded, then lost it, then lost out of bounds. Purdue last touched. Boda, all 7 feet of him, was able to outleap Trey Kaufman-Wren. And Trey then knocked the ball away from Boda, but it went out of bounds baseline right. 20 on the shot clock for the Panthers of High Point.
And with Bodo, Trey has to do his work early to keep him away from the basket because he's got the size advantage.
Hamilton will drive, and he was fouled on the drive by Purdue's Camden Heide. First foul of the second half on Purdue, and that brings the Bronx cheer from the High Point fans as the team fouls are 6-1.
And that's a foul from a Purdue standpoint. You don't mind Hamilton trying to get into that comfortable painted area, and you pick up one there, reset your defense.
Jiffa throws into the corner, and they lost it out of bounds. They were trying to throw it in the near side corner, the right corner to Benham, and they threw it out of bounds, did the Panthers. Big turnover there. Purdue takes the ball back, and Purdue will sub C.J. Cox out of the game, replaced by Miles Colvin. Purdue 45, High Point 39, 14:44 remains in the game.
Rob, I'm still baffled by how bad Hamilton missed that open three. It was like literally 6 feet short.
Unbelievable. Trey Kaufman-Wren, free throw line extended, gives the Fletcher Lawyer, dribbling to the right elbow. Fletch keeps coming downhill, and he was fouled as he threw up a wild shot. Hamilton fouled him coming down the right side of the paint. 3 fouls on Kamani Hamilton. 3 fouls on Hamilton, who was first team all-conference each of the last 2 seasons. Fletcher Lawyer will go to the foul line. Fletch has 2 points in the game. Coming off that injured left elbow last Friday against Michigan, wearing a left elbow sleeve with a left elbow pad. 85% foul shooter is Fletcher, and he makes the first foul shot. Purdue leads 46-39. Caleb First will sub in for the Boilermakers. He'll replace Camden Heide.
Fletcher.
Demarion Williams subs out, replaced here by Bobby Pettiford for High Point.
How about Fletcher? Yet to attempt a 3-point field goal yet this game. They've done a tremendous job face guarding him, not allowing him to get easy catches, staying home on him on penetration, which is what I would do as well. But hopefully Fletch, as he gets that second free throw to roll home, now he can hopefully get a couple clean looks and capitalize.
47-39 Purdue. Purdue had a 10-point halftime lead. We're down to 14:20 remaining in the game. Benham dribbling on the high left arc. Will feed it to Hamilton, coming down the right elbow from the top of the key, guarded by Lawyer. Leans into Lawyer, shoots a wild shot, made it. Kind of threw it up over his head on the left block, and it went into the basket. That was a tough shot for Kamani Hamilton. His first scoring of the game. He averages 13 a contest.
Man, you ain't kidding. I thought Fletch actually did a tremendous job on him to make him go to his weak left hand and take a pretty tough contested shot, but give him credit. That's a big finish.
47-41, Purdue the lead. Trey Kaufman-Wren out to Caleb First. Gives to Braden Smith, and an illegal screen on the dribble handoff on Caleb First. His first foul, but a Purdue turnover gives the ball right back to the Panthers. Purdue leading 47-41.
Well, I could see that coming. You know, when Braden Smith's trying to sprint off that handoff from Caleb First, Rob, you and I had a good look at it. Braden's defender sprinting as well, and you know any little contact, he's going to accentuate that. And Caleb, I think, just a split second too late to get set. The proper call there on the moving screen.
13:40 remaining. High Point the ball. Kamani Hamilton. Fletcher Lawyer's guarding him. He's on the left arc, not coming into the left elbow. Trying to back down Lawyer. Kicks out to Benham, right wing. He looked at a three, decided against it. Now he dribbles with the left hand. Benham between the rings. Coming down the left side of the paint. Layup is no good. Long rebound tipped out around the free throw line. It's going to go out of bounds on the sideline. Last touch by High Point. That's one of those loose balls that ends up in the middle of the paint. Everyone starts kicking at it, reaching for it, diving for it. Went out of bounds, near sideline, just down from our right. Purdue has the ball. Subbing in right now will be Abdoulaye Thiam for High Point. He had 6 points in the first half. Playing off of the bench, he averages 6 a game. Young man who transferred in from Minnesota. Started every game last year for High Point. This year he plays off the bench. Fletcher Lawyer catches perimeter left, throws it inside to Trey Kaufman-Wren. Trying to attack Hamilton in the low post. Spins into Bodo and was fouled on the spin. The double team came from the weak side. Trey spun right into it. Drew the contact from Hamilton. That's his 4th foul. Kamani Hamilton, 4 fouls and a 1-and-1 for Trey Kaufman-Wren. So Hamilton's going to sub out of the game with 4 fouls, replaced by Chase Johnston, who has 3 fouls himself.
That is a tough call to go against Hamilton. Trey spun away from him and spun right into the chest of Boda Boda, who was right there in good defensive position. They must have felt like Hamilton maybe shoved him from behind, but I think that's a tough call to go against Hamilton there.
Free throw, no good. Lost out of bounds. Last touch by Purdue's Caleb First. Trey Kaufman-Wren misses the front end of a 1-and-1. Give the ball right back to High Point. Purdue leading 47-41. Will Berg will sub in here for Trey Kaufman-Wren. Give him a rest at the 12:58 mark. Will Berg off of the bench, 4 points in the first half. Played very well for Purdue.
And Purdue does not take advantage there, getting into the bonus early in the second half with that front end of the 1-on-1 rattling out for Trey.
18 fouls on High Point. But yeah, Purdue not making the free throws to take advantage of it. Thiem coming down the right side of the paint, stopping in a double team. Leaned up against Will Berg, lost the ball, somehow got it back, and now we'll have a foul. A Purdue player apparently was too aggressive in the double team, and Will Berg is the guilty party.
Wow, that is a brutal call to go against Purdue. Thiem's losing the basketball as he's stuck between two players. I mean, you could call that call literally
every
called
time.
The cylinder
yes,
rule,
every time,
which could be called literally every play. And that's what you hate about like a foul differential that we have right now is the officials are just looking for little things to try to even it up.
High Point the ball. 12:30 to go in the game. Purdue's leading 47-41. Thiem will drive. Spin. He'll shoot. He traveled. He missed the shot anyway, but he traveled in the middle of the paint. Coach Alan Huss is really giving Thiem an earful right now. He did not like that decision made by the senior, junior, I should say. I beg your pardon, Abdoulaye Thiem with the turnover.
It was a surprising aggressive take. I will feel like because when you consider the fact that he just got let off the hook with a cylinder call by being over-aggressive the possession before, I feel like that's what Coach wants him to move the basketball the next time around. Instead, he just goes over-aggressive again and travels.
Braden Smith over the 10-second barrier, right to left, guarded by Thiem. As they're in some man-to-man full-court pressure are the Panthers. We're down to 12:12 to go in the game. Here's a pocket pass to Trey Kaufman-Wren, who lays it in with a left hand. That was a perfect pass in traffic from the Boilermakers, Braden Smith. Purdue's up 49-41, 12 minutes remaining.
That was well executed there in the pocket pass, and I like Trey exploding to the rim for the finish.
Pettiford, right side, Hildebrand, driving in from the right arc, stopping on the right baseline. Colvin's on him to Johnston in the right corner. Back to a deep three on the way. Good for Hildebrand on a level two-man game. Simon Hildebrand, 33% three-point shooter. That's his first make of the game. Purdue's up 49-44, 11:35 to play.
Well, he gives him that pick-and-pop option at the 5, and he comes through there.
Braden Smith, right elbow, inside Trey Kaufman-Wren, spin to score. Trey Kaufman-Wren, and right now, speaking of two-man games, he and Braden Smith doing one. Purdue's up 51-44.
Just simple basketball there, finding Kaufman-Wren with a massive size advantage over Thiem.
11:14 remaining. Pettiford dribbles, right block, shoots and scores. Rising and firing, Bobby Pettiford. A top 100 recruit out of high school, originally signed with Kansas, won a natty with Kansas. Purdue up 51-46, 11 minutes remaining. Going to have to keep scoring against these guys now. Miles Colvin kicks in a corner for a Cam Heidi three. It's a triple time for Camden Heidi. Purdue's up 54-46.
Oh, you love that. They trap Braden Smith out near half court, Steph Curry style, and that plays into Purdue's favor. 4-on-3. Kaufman-Wren facilitating, finds Colvin underneath. The help side comes, and he sprays it out to Cam Heidi. Big-time triple.
Colvin could have shot a three, or a layup, I should say. Instead, he kicked it out for a three. Speaking of threes, here's a missed three. That's rebounded by Camden Heidi. The three was missed in the left corner by Trey Benham of High Point. And now Fletcher Lawyer dribbling between the rings, coming downhill, leaves it down low for Miles Colvin, who dunks with two hands. And Purdue is leading 56-46.
Oh, Purdue taking advantage of the over-aggressiveness from High Point. Colvin hanging on rims.
10 minutes remaining in the game. Purdue a 10-point lead. Pettiford drives to the free throw line. Stops. Pivots. Still pivoting. Giving to Benham coming downhill. His layup is no good, but he was fouled by a Boilermaker, and we have a timeout on the floor. Purdue 56, High Point 46. 9:54 remains in the game on the Central Indiana Honda Dealer scoreboard. This is Boilermaker basketball on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
U.S. Foods and the Purdue Boilermakers. What a recipe for success. Like Purdue, we both stand for quality and value. From our state-of-the-art Indianapolis-based distribution center, we at U.S. Foods are committed to meeting our customers' needs by providing all your quality food service and equipment products throughout all of Indiana and Northern Kentucky. It's what we do to bring guests into your business every day that makes the difference. Enjoy the game and remember, U.S. Foods, the official food service supplier of Purdue Athletics.
This Valentine's Day, fall in love with the internet of your dreams from MetroNet. Get 1 gig 100% fiber internet for only $49.95 a month and experience blazing fast speeds that'll make your heart race. And here's the cherry on top. Sign up by March 3rd and you'll receive a $100 Amazon gift card. Don't wait. Visit metronet.com to learn more. Get MetroNet and love your internet. Terms and conditions apply.
At Indiana Kitchen Premium Pork Products, just 20 miles down the road from Mackey Arena, we're not just really good bacon makers.
We're Purdue alumni.
We're student interns.
We're student parents.
We're fans.
We're season ticket holders.
We're John Purdue Club members.
We're Boilermakers.
I'm Rush Sherwood, President at Indiana Kitchen, and on behalf of everyone here, we're proud to say our bacon's more than just locally made. Our Indiana Kitchen bacon is boiler made.
Visit IndianaKitchen.com, proud sponsor of Purdue Athletics.
This is your moment, your time to shine, your comeback. You're ready for the next step in your career, and you want an education employers respect. So you're not just going back to school, you're coming back with Purdue Global. Backed by Purdue University, one of the nation's most respected public universities, Purdue Global is built for people who bring their life experience into the online classroom. Purdue Global, Purdue's online university for working adults. Start your comeback today at purdueglobal.edu.
Purdue 56, High Point 46. 9:54 remains in the game. The Boilermakers 32 rebounds, 14 offensively. High Point only has 16 rebounds total. And remember, fans, High Point, top 25 in the nation in rebound margin coming in. Purdue men's basketball postseason sponsored by BW Fusion. Say hello to the only end-to-end manufacturer of crop nutrition and biological products. Delivering data-backed solutions that put more money in farmers' pockets, ready to grow stronger, healthier crops, and maximize your ROI. Learn more at bw-fusion.com. BW Fusion, proud presenting sponsor of Purdue men's basketball postseason. Rob Blackman here with Bobby Riddell. When we resume action, it will be 2 free throws for Trey Benham, a senior, a transfer from Lipscomb. His freshman and sophomore years played at Lipscomb, was an All-Atlantic Sun freshman team performer his freshman year in Nashville.
And they got a small ball look out here from a lineup construction standpoint. Does High Point. Basically, Benham or Damari Williams would be considered their 4-man. But Purdue also has that small ball lineup with Cam Heide as the 4 as well.
Free throw good for the left-handed shooting Benham, who has 7 points. He is a 78% foul shooter. Last year started every game for High Point. This year plays off the bench. They return 8 players from last year's team to the Panthers. And he made both foul shots. So it's an 8-point Purdue lead. Braden Smith will bring the ball up the floor, guarded closely here by Bobby Pettiford. A couple of guys that are about the same size, about 6 feet tall. Braden Smith, left elbow. Fall away jumper, bank shot, no good. Missed it badly off of the weak side of the rim.
Got caught in between, maybe banking it or swishing it.
Bodo rebounded here for High Point. Here's a deep 3 on the left wing. That one is long, and we're going to have a foul on
Trey.
What do we have here? Do we have a foul, or did the ball go over the...
I think Kaufman-Renn maybe going to get looked at for a hook and hold.
Gotcha. So the foul is on the floor on Trey Kaufman-Renn, fighting for rebounding position. The official, Andy O'Brien, then made a circular motion with his hand. I thought he was saying the ball went over the top of the backboard out of bounds. But what he was saying is, no, we need to go check the monitor. So I believe that's what the officiating crew is doing.
Potential hook and hold foul, I believe, is what the official just told the TV guys. And unfortunately, I think if the guy that would be the guilty party would be Trey Kaufman-Renn.
He was the one hit with a common foul as it happened live. It was a missed shot, deep three, no good Williams. Weak side rebound, Bodo battling with Trey Kaufman-Renn. Now, no matter how this is adjudicated, it's still bad news for Trey Kaufman-Renn because he has 3 fouls now committed. Play championship golf at the Burke Boilermaker Golf Complex into the lead with free throws and get the ball back. Because at the moment, Purdue's leading 56-48 with 9:29 to play. This is a partisan High Point crowd. You wouldn't necessarily think that, with High Point only being a school of 6,200 undergrads, but they actually, we mentioned this earlier, they brought down a charter flight full of students from High Point. They chartered in, not a charter bus, charter a flight. And it will be a common foul only after the officials have now taken a look at the monitor. Common foul only, 3 fouls on Trey Kaufman-Renn. And you have to imagine the Clemson fans who are now in the building and the McNeese State fans who are in the building are rooting for the underdog High Point as well. So this is about to feel like a true road game here.
Yeah, this crowd is filled up here. And
great crowd. I mean,
basic capacity, yeah.
So many of these first-round sites you watch on television, they have numerous open seats. That is not the case here. This baby is filled to the brim. Seating just over 11,600. Bedford throws it way out high on the right arc where it's caught by Demarion Williams. He's guarded by Jakari Harris. Demarion Williams will drive to the middle of the paint, stop, shoot a fall-away jumper in, tough shot, and he made it. Defender hanging all over him, but he made it. 56-50, Purdue the lead with 9:10 remaining.
Man, high degree of difficulty on that one, no question.
Braden Smith off a screen. Will Berg dribbling to the left elbow, stopping, feeding Miles Colvin between the circles. Colvin with a catch, a dribble, and now to Braden Smith, who's between the rings. Shot clock at 8. Braden wants a screen from Berg, gets it top of the key, keeps coming downhill on Johnston, shoots a fall-away jumper. It is short, and it's going to be rebounded by Purdue's Camden Heide. Saved it inbounds. Now to a deep 3 on the way. Jakari Harris, baby! A triple, his second made 3 of the game. Purdue's up 59-50. The freshman, a big hit there.
That is a huge shot, Jakari Harris, and the extra effort by Will Berg and Camden Heide on the offensive rebounding just being huge for Purdue in this game.
8:25 remaining. Purdue 9-point advantage. But here's Benham, a 3 straight away. Good for High Point. He answers. Trey Benham, 11 points. He's the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
At Farm Credit Mid-America and Rural First, we do more than lend. We lift up our rural communities that we serve, too. From our day-to-day business of providing reliable credit to farmers and rural residents, to our community investment efforts and scholarships for college students, we help Indiana's rural communities find their next level. Visit FCMA.com to learn more about how we work with partners like Purdue University. Boiler up. Farm Credit Mid-America and Rural First are equal opportunity lenders.
It's Truck Month with the Ford crew.
Sam, do you know what these trucks have in common?
They're all Ford trucks.
And
they're built Ford tough.
Also true, but specifically they're Ford F-Series trucks, the best-selling trucks in America for 48 years.
48 years? We should celebrate a month-long event.
Sam.
A truckload of value.
Sam.
Across the entire lineup of Ford trucks.
Sam.
That's called Truck Month already, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I knew it.
Based on 1977 to 2024 CY Industry reported total sales.
Boiler up. It's March, and at BW Fusion, we're ready for the madness, proudly bleeding black and gold for Purdue. We've got basketball in our hearts, but we've also got farming in our blood. We became leaders in crop nutrition by rolling up our sleeves alongside because of farmers like. To learn more about BW Fusion, visit bw-fusion.com.
It's that time of year again. My schedule is packed with bracket-busting, three-point shooting, nonstop basketball action. I don't want to miss a second of it. That's why I go for a 5-hour energy shot. They're perfect for my days packed with back-to-back games or when my favorite team's playing late. 5-hour energy keeps me going during the broadcast and the next morning when I need to get myself up into work. Visit 5hourenergy.com for great deals and to stock up before tip-off.
This is Sasha Stefanovic, and you're listening to Purdue Basketball with Rob Blackman and Bobby Buckets Riddell.
Purdue 59, High Point 53. Panthers going to the foul line when we resume action. Bobby Pettiford, who's an 87% foul shooter, will be at the line. Purdue Athletics would like to thank and recognize members of the Black and Gold Club who support Purdue Athletics through their sponsorship at the highest level. Black and Gold Club members include Indiana Packers, Molson Coors, Purdue Federal Credit Union, Purdue Global, Riley Children's Health, State Farm Insurance, Toyota, and Wabash, each great partners of Purdue Athletics. Need to correct myself. A moment ago I said Jakari Harris had made 2 threes in the game. He's made 1. I had accidentally given one of Camden Heidi's threes to Jakari. Camden's made 2 threes in the ball game. Pettiford at the line, senior, started his career at Kansas, played at East Carolina last year as a junior. Now he's a senior playing for the High Point Panthers. Wears number 55 on the purple uniform and makes the first foul shot. Purdue sub Trey Kaufman-Renn back into the game. With the foul shot, it's now Purdue 59, High Point 54. Second one on the way here for Pettiford. Bending the knees, shooting, and missed it long, but got his own rebound. Now Pettiford kicks in the corner. Benham will shoot. Long jumper, no good. Weak side rebound, Bodo. Pettiford keeps it alive. Gives back to Bodo, who dunks. Oh, the offensive rebounding that time paid huge dividends for High Point. And now it's a 3-point Purdue lead at 59-56. Braden Smith over the timeline, right to left. Boy, you get Pettiford to miss a foul shot, which he rarely does. But Purdue couldn't come away with a rebound. Braden Smith, right elbow. Leans in, shoots a short floater, left it short. Bodo rebounds, and then he's fouled by Braden Smith out of frustration. First foul on Braden. Team foul number 7. And Jocelyn Bodo will go to the foul line with a 1-and-1. He's a 54% foul shooter. 7:19 remains in the game, and High Point has the momentum at the moment.
Braden Smith got to that nice little sweet spot there in the paint. Just leaves that floater short. And I do think the frustration, as you said, it's starting to mount for Braden. He's missed a lot of makeable shots here as of late. He's got to regain his composure. This is winning time here, these final 7 minutes of this game. Big 1-and-1 here for Bodo. Got to box out on a missed free throw potential.
First one on the way, long. Rebounded by Jakari Harris in the far corner. Boy, that was in a scary moment for a second because Harris had to box out Bodo at 7 feet, but Harris was able to get the block out and get the rebound. Purdue leads by 3. Braden Smith, pocket pass, Trey Kaufman-Renn. Left block, working on Bodo. Out to Lawyer, fakes the 3, he dribbles in. Gives it right back to Trey Kaufman-Renn. Shot clock at 5, working on Bodo. Gonna have to hurry. Shoots a fall-away jumper, does Trey, and he made it. Whew, that was a tough shot. Falling away, 8 feet, left baseline. Purdue leads 61-56.
Oh, what a big shot there. Not a shot he shoots a lot. But that's a silencer with this High Point crowd and the momentum they have.
They do have the momentum, and they have the crowd on their side. Benham between the rings. Dribble handoff for a 3. Deep 3, left wing, no. Rebounded Jakari Harris. The shot was missed by Chase Johnston. Boy, he has a quick trigger. That man can catch it and shoot it in a split second.
Him and Benham both just released the ball so quick.
Purdue 5-point lead, 6:11 remaining. All the way down to the painted area and shooting is Braden Smith. A right-handed layup from the left block. There was some contact. He made it anyway. Purdue pushes the lead back to 7, 63-56 with 6 minutes to play.
There we go. That's a big positive play there for Braden Smith. A good rescreen by Kaufman-Renn, changing the angle, and then Braden ripped that thing down the left side.
Off a screen, Pettiford gets to the free throw line, stops, leans into some trouble. Now gives to his teammate, driving in Damarion Williams, falling away from 12 feet. He missed the shot. Rebounded Purdue's Trey Kaufman-Renn. 5.5 to go. Purdue leads 63-56. Can the Boilermakers hold on against the gamey High Point Panthers? First ever NCAA tournament for High Point University. And they have brought their A game today. Here goes Braden Smith. Tried to throw it inside. Ends up in the hands of Jakari Harris. Leaves a three short. Got his own rebound. Now kicks it out to Fletcher Lawyer. To Heidi on the left wing. Purdue another offensive rebound. They have a ton of them tonight. 16 to be exact. 5:08 remaining. Braden Smith, left elbow, keeps coming downhill with a shot clock at 4. Wants to throw it inside of Trey Kaufman-Renn. He attacks. He was fouled as he tried to attempt a short shot. Right block, Damarion Williams the foul. 4:59 to go in the game. This will be a 2-shot foul for Trey Kaufman-Renn. Purdue leading 63-56.
And that's a positive play there, getting Kaufman-Renn to the line, but also that's the 9th team foul for High Point. So Purdue will be double bonus the rest of the way. Don't have to worry about any of those knee-knocking one-and-one opportunities that can come late in games.
At the line, Trey Kaufman-Renn of the Boilermakers. The redshirt junior missed the first foul shot. He has 21 points to go with 6 rebounds. Trey averaged 27 points, 8 rebounds in the Big Ten tournament over 2 games. He was ridiculously good in that Big Ten tournament. He has now his 18th 20-point game of the year, but now he would really like to make this one free throw. He missed it, left it short, rebounded Camden Heidi. Camden Heidi kept it alive, rebounding off the front side of the rim. Purdue with a fresh shot clock of 20 seconds, leading 63-56. Braden Smith wants a screen from Trey Kaufman-Renn on the left arc. Gets it, works his way to the right arc, picks up the dribble. Right side to Lawyer, shoots a contested 3. Long rebound, grabbed by Trey Kaufman-Renn as well as Hildebrand of High Point. Held ball on the alternating possession. Purdue keeps it. So Purdue keeps the ball. 7-point lead, 4:35 remaining. What hustle by Trey Kaufman-Renn. And with 3 fouls, Trey aggressively went after Hildebrand to try to take the ball away from him.
What a swing here from Purdue on the offensive glass. Camden Heidi and Kaufman-Renn in succession, giving Purdue additional cracks at it.
Purdue inbounds on a left arc catch for Trey Kaufman-Renn to Braden Smith. He now wants to screen for Braden to the top of the key. Braden with a deep 3, lets it fly. Good! A triple time from the All-American Braden Smith when Purdue desperately needed it. Purdue's ahead 66-56 with 4:15 remaining, and that 3 was deep.
Oh, that was so clutch from the All-American Smitty, top of the key. That was pure.
Jiffa. Top side feed to Bodo. Bodo back to Jiffa. 4:05 remaining. Jiffa guarded by Jakari Harris. Shooting a left-handed floater. Good. 8 feet away. That's a tough shot in traffic by Jiffa. We have a timeout on the floor because Purdue thought they might have had an injured player. Camden Heidi wasn't injured. He just said, give me a moment, guys. We have a timeout on the floor. 3:58 remaining. Purdue with an 8-point lead of 66-58. Oh, time to move to the edge of your seats if you're not there already. On the Central Indiana Honda Dealer scoreboard, Purdue 66, High Point 58. This is Boilermaker basketball on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
You know you've got a comeback in you. When you take the next step, you're going to make it count. For your career, for your family, for your life. You can earn a degree you're proud of with Purdue Global. Purdue Global is backed by Purdue University, one of the nation's most respected and innovative public universities. This is your chance. This is your opportunity. This is your comeback. Purdue Global, Purdue's online university for working adults. Start your comeback today at purdueglobal.edu.
Talking on the phone is difficult if you've been exposed to loud noises over time. Combat veterans, factory workers, farmers, gun and motorcycle enthusiasts can have trouble hearing on the telephone. Relay Indiana helps return clarity to your phone conversations. Relay Indiana also provides free loaned equipment to those who qualify. Get the CapTel Caption telephone from Relay Indiana. Visit relayindiana.com now.
This is Camden Heidi from Purdue Men's Basketball for my friends at the Halderman Companies, proud supporters of Purdue University. The Halderman team understands the importance of teamwork, execution, and tremendous effort required for us to succeed on the court and provide the same to their clients. Their team includes farm managers, appraisers, and real estate brokers with experience, knowledge, and professionalism to help you accomplish your farm goals. If it has anything to do with the business of farming, Halderman can help. Visit halderman.com today to learn more.
We know to contact Indiana 811 at least 2 working days before every dig. But did you also know spraying a white line around the area you plan to dig means utility flags will only go in that area? Fewer flags in the yard? Easier mowing? Everybody wins.
Everybody except my kid. I don't want to mow the yard.
Everybody except for your kid wins. Contact Indiana 811 at least 2 working days before picking up a shovel. It's the only way to dig. Learn more at 811.safedigindiana.com.
Purdue 66, High Point 58, 3:58 remains in the game. The Boilermakers dominating the glass, 39 rebounds to High Point's 22. Purdue has 18 offensive rebounds, and before we resume action, we have had a pretty significant event happen during the commercial timeout. The officials went to the monitor to check something during the commercial timeout. We found out what had happened is on that last made shot by High Point, as Camden Heidi was trying to get rebounding position, he was pushed with 2 hands in the middle of the back. A foul was not called on the floor, but once the officials went to the monitor, they deemed that was a flagrant foul. A flagrant dead ball, a live ball actually, on a rebound, which was not caught initially as it happened live. So we're going to come out of the timeout with Camden Heidi shooting 2 free throws for Purdue. Camden Heidi will shoot 2 free throws for Purdue at the 3:58 mark, and then Purdue will get the ball. Camden Heidi stepping to the line. He's an 82% foul shooter. Camden has made 2 threes in this game for his 6 points worth of scoring. He averages 4 a game, and the Minnesota native gets 2 free throws here.
Wow, Heidi, this is going to be huge here, getting those 2 free throws.
And it's also worth noting, probably the most important part of all of this, that foul on Hamilton was his 5th.
Yes, it was.
So Kamani Hamilton fouls out with a flagrant 1. Heidi makes the first foul shot. So Kamani Hamilton, 13 points a game, first team all-conference, leaves with 2 points. And he missed the second.
Heidi misses the second. Cam's got 9 points on the game. Had that putback jam as well.
Well said. Thank you. I forgot the one easy one he had. Yeah, easy for me. Now Purdue takes the ball out baseline right, 67-58, into Braden Smith's hands. He's racing up the right sideline with 3 purple shirts guarding him. He is triple teamed to Fletcher Lawyer. Now to Heidi. Heidi fakes a 3 left wing. Could have shot it, decided against it. 3:45 to go in the game. 9-point lead for Purdue. Braden Smith guarded closely here by Pettiford. Purdue's free throw shooting has not been great tonight. Let's hope it doesn't come back to bite the Boilermakers. Shot clock down to 5. Braden Smith, top of the key. Now 2. He better shoot it. He does. His layup is no good. Weak side rebound. Camden Heidi saves it in play. Purdue can burn some more clock. Heidi with yet another rebound. That one he saved inbounds. It's his 10th rebound of the game. All the way down the painted area. Trey Copeland-Wren, short floater, no good. Somehow rebounded out of there by Benham. Boy, that was a good look for Trey. Missed it. Purdue 9-point lead, but High Point the ball at the 3-minute mark. It's Purdue 67, High Point 58. Jiffa dribbling to the right baseline with Jakari Harris guarding him. And he was fouled on a reach-in by Jakari Harris. This will be a 1-and-1 for Keza Jiffa.
I don't agree with that call at all. I thought Jakari just had awesome defense there positionally, and Jiffa tries to fire his shoulder into Jakari to get contact, loses his balance. That's a travel to me. I don't like that call whatsoever.
Timeout taken by High Point. 2:55 to go in the game as we pause on the Central Indiana Honda Dealer scoreboard. Purdue 67, High Point 58. This is Boilermaker basketball on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
The best cars for the money are Hondas. Now, save big with 0% APR. The 25 Accord, Civic, Passport, and Odyssey have been named the best cars for the money by U.S. News & World Report. Save thousands with 0%, like the 24 Prologue with 0 APR. To drive the best, search your local Honda dealer today.
See dealer for financing details. Financing on credit approval offer ends 4/30/25. View U.S. News best cars at cars.usnews.com.
This is your moment, your time to shine, your comeback. You're ready for the next step in your career, and you want an education employers respect. So you're not just going back to school, you're coming back with Purdue Global. Backed by Purdue University, one of the nation's most respected public universities, Purdue Global is built for people who bring their life experience into the online classroom. Purdue Global, Purdue's online university for working adults. Start your comeback today at purdueglobal.edu.
We Boilermakers show our pride in a number of ways, from a Purdue flag flying high on game day to a black and gold tie worn to the office. That loyalty is built on precious memories, time-honored traditions, and lifelong friendships. It's everlasting, and it stays with you wherever you go. So whether you're at Mackey Arena, your hometown grocery store, or across the country, the pride is always there. And now with the Purdue Federal Visa Signature Card, you have one more way to show your pride. Purdue Federal, the official credit card for Purdue fans everywhere. Federally insured by NCUA.
Keystone Cooperative is centered on delivering the farmer-owned cooperative of the future, starting today. Centered on the valued relationships that have built and grown the cooperative for 100 years, Keystone specializes in refined fuels, seriously local propane, agronomy, grain, animal nutrition, and swine production. We strive to lead, serve, grow, and embrace our cooperative advantage. Keystone Cooperative, centered on you and proud to fuel the Boilermakers.
Purdue 67, High Point 58, 2:55 remains in the game from Providence, Rhode Island. NCAA Tournament first round action. Purdue is out rebounded High Point 40-23. Purdue has only 6 turnovers, High Point 9. But Purdue's foul shooting has allowed this game to stay close. Purdue just 8 of 16 at the foul line. For comprehensive coverage of college basketball, tune into SiriusXM, Big Ten Radio 372. That's channel 372 in the car, or on the all-new SiriusXM app. SiriusXM, home of your favorite team and conference, including live games, plus interviews and analysis. Cheer along with the SiriusXM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. Get a free trial at SiriusXM.com/Big Ten Radio 2025. Rob Blackman with Bobby Riddell will resume action with foul shots coming for Keza Jiffa of High Point.
Well, you took the words out of my mouth with the free throws. As you said, 8 of 16, just 50%. If Purdue's unable to win a close game here down the stretch, they will certainly bemoan their free throw shooting.
1-1 for Jiffa, the left-handed shooter. 86% foul shooter, he missed. An 86% foul shooter, he missed it. It was rebounded by Trey Kaufman-Wren. Now, High Point jumps into full court pressure, which is broken by Fletcher Lawyer, bringing the ball up the far sideline right to left. Braden Smith, and it's stolen from Smith on a bad pass. Johnston a run out, and then taken away from him out of bounds. Last touch, Braden Smith. Johnston stole a poor pass from Jakari Harris. Braden Smith hustled back to knock it away. Out of bounds, baseline right. Purdue saves a layup, but the ball's still in the hands here of the Panthers of High Point with 2:35 remaining. Pettiford dribbling at the free throw line, stopping underneath the free throw line, shooting a fall-away jumper. It's no good. Rebounded Jakari Harris. That was about as well defended by Braden Smith as could possibly have been defended. Purdue has to break the 10-second barrier. They do by giving the ball to Jakari Harris, the freshman playing in a tough spot here in an NCAA tournament game, his first ever. The son of Glenn Robinson, who played in so many great big NCAA games at the tournament level for the Purdue Boilermakers back in the day. Shot clock is down to 7. Clock at 2:05. Braden Smith to Fletcher Lawyer. Left wing to Heidi. Heidi, step back 3. Left wing. It is short. Rebounded Jizza of High Point. Less than 2 minutes to go. Purdue by 9. Jiffa on the run. Left to right. Stops at the top of the key. Keeps coming downhill. Throws up a wild shot. Rebounded Jakari Harris. And Jakari calmly, like a senior, not a freshman, says, let's slow down, boys. Let's slow down. 1:40 to go in the game. Braden Smith is trapped in midcourt. He's in some trouble. And we had a Purdue timeout. Braden, what kind of stinks there, fans? Braden was able to pass out of the double team to a wide open Camden Heidi who was near the rim. But before he released the pass, Matt Painter called timeout from the Purdue sideline. You're glad Purdue gets a timeout to save what was going to be a crazy possession, but oh, what might have been, because Camden Heide would have been coming downhill for a layup.
You're right, Rob. It certainly could have ended up being good news for Purdue, but I do not blame Coach Paint one bit for calling that timeout, because 9-point lead, 1:30 to go. The clock is in your favor. Braden Smith is in this deep corner here, right where half court and the sideline connect, right in front of us, away from Purdue's bench. And you're right, Coach Paint has no idea that the possession may end up turning out okay.
Oh, yeah, because it could have ended up very bad.
Right.
Consent of the NCAA and Westwood 1 is strictly prohibited. Braden Smith makes 2 free throws. Purdue with their largest lead. 1:20 to go in the game. It's an 11-point Boilermaker edge. Out of the right side now, Pettiford.
Marlon Williams, just like you said, it's desperation time. They need threes in a hurry, and he got fortunate there with the bank being open, but Purdue still in a great spot, up 10, 38 seconds to go. At this point, with Purdue being in the double bonus, the only chance High Point has to come back realistically is to get a couple turnovers and some quick baskets. So if Purdue is secure and strong with the basketball, they should be just fine, as long as they can just not have those turnovers, especially in the backcourt.
One of the stats we love to throw at you throughout the season on Purdue Radio Network is that Purdue, when they hold the opponent under 70, has won 33 straight games. Right now, High Point's at 63 with 38.5 to go. I just give you the facts, fans. You can draw your own conclusions.
How about Purdue? Up and down the roster, as far as guys who have played today, every single guy who's played for Purdue has contributed in the scoring column. That's certainly a welcome sign, getting contributions from everywhere. But the play that I just saw on the Jumbotron that I think was kind of the play of the game, now that I think back, Purdue only up 3, High Point making a run late in that second half. Kaufman-Wren, late shot clock, clock's winding down. He goes to a turnaround fadeaway jumper as the shot clock's expiring. Hit that shot, pushed the lead to 5. The crowd was really favoring High Point at that point. That was a major league shot by the first-team All-Big Ten player.
It came from the left baseline, that shot by Trey Kaufman-Wren. Jakari Harris in the backcourt fouled. Actually, I think the foul Lawyer. They fouled Lawyer before he could get it out of his hands to Jakari. So Fletch gets to shoot the foul shots. 6 points for Fletcher Lawyer. 4 have come from the foul line. Fletch on the year, 85% foul shooter. He missed a foul shot earlier in the game. He had a 3 free throw opportunity, missed one, which was a stop the presses moment for him. He so rarely misses. Named Big Ten honorable mention this year was Fletcher Lawyer. Scored over 1,200 points in his career. And he has 2 foul shots here with 34 seconds remaining. Made the first.
Purdue executed their press break so well, and they've done that most of this season. Fletcher Lawyer, the inbounder, hit Braden Smith, and Braden was trapped. what Fletcher does then as the inbounder, he sprints to circle behind Braden Smith, who's being trapped, and make himself available. And Purdue executed that well, finding Fletch.
Purdue 74, High Point 63, with one more free throw coming for the Boilermaker junior from Fort Wayne, Fletcher Lawyer, wearing number 2 on the white uniform, dribbling twice. Bending the knees, shooting, and made it. Got a friendly bounce off the right side of the rim, off the left side of the rim, and down the bucket. 30 seconds to go. Pettiford dribbling. Hand off to Williams, coming down the right side of the paint. Missed the layup. That might seal the fate of the Panthers. Rebounded by Jakari Harris to Miles Colvin. Coming up the right sideline. Yeah, they're saying don't foul. Their coach, Alan Huss, says do not foul. Do not foul. That's what the head coach of the Panthers is saying. The head coach of the Boilermakers might be saying something like survive and advance. We have gone final in Providence, Rhode Island. Purdue's moving on. A 75-63 win for the Boilermakers here in first round NCAA tournament action.
With today's victory, Purdue advances to the second round. For more information, visit NCAA.
Purdue 75. High Point 63. The High Point Panthers coming into this afternoon on a 14-game winning streak, the best in the country. Their first ever NCAA tournament appearance, and the 13th seeded Panthers were as good as advertised, but the Boilermakers are able to hold on this afternoon here in Providence. 75-63 is the final. The Panthers season ends at 29